best selections of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with massive savings. That's right. Click to mynextchevy.com. That's mynextchevy.com for incredible savings on one of the best selections of new Chevrolets. Or find new roads to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet Cadillac in Plaquemine. Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more.
Getting a repair done around your office or business can be easy. Let the experts at ACI Facility Support take the guesswork out of what to do. Call ACI Facility Support, 383-3434, or submit a work request at acifacilitysupport.com.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until the case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. 1045 Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's Dorian Oka. Join me and Mel Kiper Jr. for Dorian Mel Saturday mornings at 8 on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, December 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 58. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stops by at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill talking Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette. Remember, we have OTB Mailbag today, so get your questions in. You can tweet them or ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB Mailbag, and we'll get those answered at 8:15. Follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. You can watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. And while you're there, make sure you get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set those notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria online, 1045ESPN.com. Good Tuesday morning to you. Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matthew Musso, Daniel Cardenas here with you until 10 a.m. this morning. We're driven and powered by All-Star Toyota every single day here on Off the Bench. Find All-Star Toyota selection online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Jam-packed on this Tuesday. An hour and 15 minutes from now, we answer your mailbag questions. Jump inside the Bayou Ford chat app. Drop the mailbag questions. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Talking to Coach Ed Ogeron. LSU Bama coming up on Saturday night. We'll talk to Coach O about Tell the Truth Monday in Baton Rouge. What's on the docket for Competition Tuesday over at the LSU Football Operations Facility. The shakeout after Terrace Marshall gives the message to the team that he's out for the last 3 games. What's it been like in preparation? Derek Stingley Sr. will stop by here. Huge matchup in college football as far as individuals go. Devonta Smith, who's the best wide receiver in college football, going up against Derek Stingley Jr. on Saturday night inside Tiger Stadium. It may be a tilted balance as far as the competition between the two teams, but as far as that matchup goes, there will be a lot of NFL scouts with their eyeballs on that one. We'll talk to Stingley Sr. about prep and how much revenge goes into Saturday night after last season in Tuscaloosa. 8:30 this morning, we'll talk to Nick Underhill. As always, that Underhill conversation about the New Orleans Saints is brought to you by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. We'll talk to Underhill at 8:30. The Stingley Sr. conversation is brought to you by City Cafe. I was at the brunch on City Cafe on Sunday morning. It was fantastic.
Nice.
City Cafe, 100 years in business. How we feeling, T?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Just ready to talk to Coach O about the game that was, as well as looking forward a little bit what he has to say. Stingley, everybody else you just named, and then recapping the NFL week that was in hour number 3. So we're feeling good today.
And we'll tell you about the biggest matchup in the city coming up inside headlines. Here they are on this Tuesday, December 1st. Musa, we got first of the month ready?
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
Men's basketball last night for LSU opened up with a dominant 96-43 victory over Southeastern. LSU shot 50% from the field, making 13 three-point baskets while holding the Lions to 22% from the field. Freshman Cam Thomas, who was the SEC Freshman of the Week after his first week in college basketball, dropped 21 points, including 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Trendon Watford had 20 as well, as he was 7 of 8 from the field, had 9 rebounds and 3 assists. LSU back in action on December 6th when Louisiana Tech comes down to Baton Rouge. Here is Coach Will Wade talking about the second win of the season for the Tigers.
Good win. I thought we sustained our defense better. Still disappointed 14 offensive rebounds we gave up, which is, we've got to get that short up. 238th, I believe, in the country in rebounding margin. So we've got to certainly do a better job there. But very pleased with our guys' focus. I thought we sustained our focus, sustained our effort for 40 minutes tonight. I thought everybody who came in gave us some good contributions.
Here's Cam Thomas talking about making his debut inside the Maravich Center.
No butterflies for me because I'm pretty much built for this. And then, of course, it's pretty different not having the full crowd. But it was pretty cool playing our first game, and it should be better throughout the year.
LSU back in action on December 6th as Louisiana Tech will be in Baton Rouge. NFL news, Commissioner Roger Goodell said team facilities will be closed to in-person activities until Wednesday in an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19 among players and staff. The closure comes after reports that some players and staff spent Thanksgiving with out-of-town visitors. Last night on Monday Night Football, DK Metcalf caught 10 passes for a career-high 177 yards in a win for Seattle over Philadelphia 23-17. Jim Schwartz, who is the former Detroit Lion head coach and now the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, walked up to Metcalf before the game and said he had spent some time with Megatron Calvin Johnson in Detroit and reminded Metcalf, "You're not there yet." Metcalf tweeted after his performance last night the Jordan meme and said he took it personal. He shelled out a career-high 10 catches, 177 yards, and the victory gives Seattle now an 8-3 record and a one-game lead over the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC West. It also gave the Seahawks 7 consecutive wins over Philly, dating back, including playoffs, to 2011.
Well, to be fair to Schwartz, he was trying to be nice. He didn't just walk up to him and be like, "You're not Megatron yet." He was like, "You are the closest thing that I've ever seen to Megatron, and you're not quite there yet, but you're on your way." And honestly, none of what Jim Schwartz said is wrong. He's not Megatron yet, right? But his body and everything, he would look to be on his way. But with these hyper-competitive psycho athletes, all it takes is all that matters is their perception. If he perceives it as a slight, well, he took that personally, like he told you.
And it's the George Karl, Michael Jordan story.
Yeah, exactly, right? Poor Karl.
George Karl is like, wait, what? Huh? Good job, George. Jim Schwartz last night, and all the damage that Metcalf did was on All-Pro Darius Slay. He did most of his damage last night on Philadelphia's best offender. New Orleans Saints is a 3-point favorite in Atlanta this Sunday. Sean Payton was on his Monday teleconference talking about Adam Trautman, how the rookie tight end continues to see his role develop and grow.
Yeah, just the more and more snaps he gets, I think the more and more we'll see, the development. Sometimes the challenge just getting him number of snaps we want to. I think he's, I've said this, we've got to keep finding ways for him in the passing game. I think he's someone that's got a real good feel in that area, and I think he's learning the leverage elements of blocking different than in college, and certainly with the athletes he's blocking.
So I'm about to double check this, but the PFF New Orleans Saints account, I'm almost positive, has said that Adam Trautman's been the highest graded off. Here it is. We just can't keep him away. Adam Trautman returns again as the highest graded Saints offensive player.
Wow.
As he earned a 90.4 overall grade. But the real highlight is his run blocking. I'm excited to talk to Nick Underhill. It's something that he highlighted as well. But PFF had him graded out at an 87.6. Wow. And if you go on Nick's Twitter, they have some plays that he's highlighted. And the kid looks good, man. So he's not just, I kind of figured he's your project. He's a tall body from Dayton. Let's see what he can do. He's even good in the receiving game. But, he opens up entire new elements of the playbook if he brings that blocking threat along with it. So shout out to Trautman.
This was a story that we were watching over the weekend. Amy Just over at NOLA.com was writing about it, that the NFL had levied significant discipline penalties against the New Orleans Saints after they determined that the team violated coronavirus guidelines. Again, it was reported that the Saints were going to have to forfeit a 7th-round pick and be fined up to $500,000 for their second offense. Here was Payton remarking on the NFL taking a draft pick away.
No comment. No, you can ask Mickey or somebody. I haven't been involved in any of that. I haven't seen any. I wasn't even aware of it. In fact, I was one of the last people to find out. So you might want to ask Mickey.
Saints are in Atlanta this Sunday. Noon start, where they're 3-point favorites against the NFC South division rival.
We talked about OT yesterday, Jordy. If I'm Miss Gale, I'm on the warpath.
Should be
for this.
Absolutely.
It's absurd. There are so many videos.
You could dock all 32 teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why the insistence on coming after New Orleans? It's borderline absurd. And and Miss Gale. I don't know if they feel like they can pick on her as she's kind of the new girl in the club, but I would love to see her take a public stance, or at least behind the scenes. Maybe, probably can't take a public stance, but behind the scenes be fighting this tooth and nail.
Well, remember, the Saints were previously fined in September after Payton and the Saints were fined $350,000 total. $250,000 to the team and $100K to Payton after the league determined that Payton failed to properly wear his mask covering their Week 2 game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, and at least then, though, it wasn't just Payton. Gruden got dinged. Yeah. Like, everybody that wasn't, all the coaches that weren't wearing their masks were getting dinged. Why are the Chiefs not docked a draft pick? Why are the Broncos not docked a draft pick? All the videos that we've seen, you could do this to any NFL team. Screw you, Roger Goodell. You're a bum. We are re-implementing the 504 ban. If you see Roger Goodell in New Orleans, do not serve that man.
Ed Ogeron will be here in 19 minutes on Off the Bench. Yesterday, he was speaking at his Monday press conference where he answered the question, the direction of the LSU football program. Where's it headed?
We're building a championship program, and we will be champions again. Recruiting is going well. We got some great young players. We have some stuff that we have to get fixed, and I know we have to fix it, but I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
Number 1 team in the country, Alabama, is coming into Baton Rouge on Saturday night. What's the biggest challenge for Ogeron and the Tigers?
You got to find where Devontae Smith is, number 1. You got to know where he's at, what's he going to do, and you have to cover him. And you may have to double cover him, you may not. But if we do have single coverage, we have guys that can single coverage, you got to be able to eliminate him from getting the ball over the top. Sarkisian does a good job with his play-action pass, it's called gap pass, and take shots. He'll take shots time after time. And you can't get your safeties too far up to play the run because they throw the ball over your head. I think that's the number 1 deal. What was your second question, Steve?
LSU Bama coming up 7 o'clock on Saturday night, which means your pregame coverage 2 o'clock on Eagle 98.1. And the biggest matchup in the city is happening tonight, T-Bob. Kickoff is set for 6:30 under the lights at Olympia Stadium as Grayson Lanassa and the South Downs Chargers look for revenge versus Jordan Culotta and the Mid-City Blue Jays. Culotta broke the Chargers' hearts with a 45-yard scamper for the win in October. No cover charge tonight at Olympia Stadium. Dress warm. It is a kid-friendly environment. Get out and support tonight as the Mid-City Blue Jays take on the South Downs Chargers. Jimmy Ott's Game Time has this as a pick'em on game day, 6:30 kickoff.
So what is this? Is this just like Sandlot style at this point? Y'all are just gathering up kids in the back of the truck and like driving to rival neighborhoods and challenging them?
They wanted to make this game happen last week, but due to flag football conflicts and Thanksgiving holidays, so they delayed it 1 week. This is actually going to be the end of the tackle football season.
Okay. Man, these poor kids are going to be freezing tonight. Good luck, boys.
Football weather, T.
It is kind of fun, I guess, when you're a kid. Good luck, though. I'm there in spirit with you.
Those are your headlines. What's trending here? I'm
really
actually looking
cold.
for a video crew. If you're looking for free promotion, if you're looking for free free publicity, and you're in video, you're in editing, get in touch with me. Jordy at 1045ESPN.com. Great promotion for your company and a great opportunity for experience tonight in video and live sports.
Where's Derek Ochoa at when you need him?
Austin, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's still with
Doing
Texas.
great work.
Yeah.
But Derek, if you're in town, holler at me. Those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench. Daily brought to you by Barbecue Guys here on OTB. Tune in to us. We got Ogeron coming up here 15 minutes. Your mailbag questions 1 hour from now.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Coy's Diesel brings you Off the Bench daily here. Remember, online at coysdiesel.com. Coy and the crew are located on Airline Highway out in Gonzales. They have a great shop out there for light, medium, and heavy-duty diesel trucks. If you drive one and need to get it back up and operating today, remember, Coy can take care of you. Online, coysdiesel.com. They offer that 24-hour roadside assistance, so if you're broken down, they can move the truck back to the shop and make the repair. Online, coysdiesel.com.
CoysDiesel.com, CoysDiesel.com, year, make, model, doesn't matter. As long as it's a diesel vehicle, they have it all. In fact, when you go on the website, if you're looking online right now, you see the three drop-down menus where you can shop for your specific vehicle. And look, so it's not just repairs. So we talk about that all the time because it's 24/7 emergency roadside assistance if you need it, and any finance you need, they can help you out there as well. But what if you just want to upgrade your diesel vehicle, right? Whatever accessories you want, new brakes, wheels, tires, whatever, they have it all there, including NOS. Go to CoysDiesel.com, CoysDiesel.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davey talks Tigers. Larry Holder talks Saints. And we'll recap LSU Southeastern in hoops. Join us for Tuesday's AFR 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We hit, I told him I never tired yet. We hit, I told him that on the clock. We hit, I told him over time, I'ma claim what's mine. Now sit back and watch me cry. We hit.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals head coach Zach Taylor was speaking to the media on Monday and provided some updates on Joe Burrow, who was knocked out of his rookie season back on November 22nd. He was knocked out versus the Washington football team. He suffered a season-ending knee injury. Zach Taylor said he knows that Burrow will have surgery in the middle of this week. He'll be flying out to Los Angeles to have that. Burrow has been around the quarterback meetings even after the injury, saying Burrow said inside of the meeting room he just likes being around the guys. But this is from Ian Rappaport. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow will head out west this week to have reconstructive knee surgery on his ACL performed by Dr. Neil Elatrash and Kerlon Jobe in L.A., and he's expected to make a full recovery. So I think that's going down actually today as Burrow will have his reconstructive knee surgery with the Cincinnati Bengals coming up today, and will be expected to make a full return. We'll talk to Coach Ed Ogeron here in a couple of minutes on Off the Bench. He'll be here just like he is every Tuesday here on Off the Bench. If you have a question for the head coach, remember you can hop inside of the Bayou Ford chat app, hashtag OTB mailbag, Ask Coach O if you want to get a question in for Coach O. We also have our mailbag questions coming in at 8:15 this morning. So if you have a mailbag question, hashtag OTB mailbag. As last night, Monday Night Football closed up the NFL week, we told you that Commissioner Roger Goodell has shut down facilities around the league until tomorrow. DK Metcalf went off for Seattle as they win 23-17. Seattle now 8-3, and look out in the NFC as they are look like they're getting back right up there in the Pacific Northwest. I asked this to the staff before we got on air this morning. Is there an athlete that has benefited more with no fans in the stands than Carson Wentz? Because he's playing in one of the most hostile sports cities that we have, maybe the most hostile.
Yeah, definitely.
And his play is putrid, pathetic, horrible. I can't think of adjectives to explain how bad it really is. 25 of 45 for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick does not tell the story on how bad it was. He was sacked 6 times. The interception decision-making, the decision he made on that interception was elementary. And I mean, this is a long consecutive weeks of evidence of playing this bad, and now you're tied into this contract with Philadelphia. If I'm Carson Wentz, I never want him to allow fans back in the stands again in Philly, because to me, he has been the most benefited athlete. He has benefited more than anyone individually without having fans in the stands, because they'd have booed him off the field a month ago, T.
Yeah, he'd have been booed off the field every time he touched the field for a while now. He's having a season that could be described as a less explosive Jameis Winston sort of season. I mean, he's sitting here, he's 16 touchdowns, 15 picks. So he's just as ineffective from a turnover ratio standpoint as Jameis Winston was, but he doesn't even have the high volume that a Jameis Winston does, right? Like, Jameis is still completing over 60% of his passes, 2 for 30 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. You're getting none of that with Wentz this season. He's completing 58% of his passes. I'm sorry, but the game evolves over time, and right now, if you're an NFL quarterback and you're not over 60%, you're really bad. And so it's just wild, man, how fast the fall can come at times. Or, think if you're an Eagles fan, how does this feel where just a few years ago, not only do you win the Super Bowl, but in the midst of that Super Bowl year, one of the most exciting things that a franchise can go through is when you believe that you have your young, long-term answer at quarterback, right? So whether it's like how Arizona feels about Kyler Murray right now, or even though we'll see where this goes, if you saw how Dolphins fans were reacting after Tua had the really good game in his second start and they won that one against the Cardinals, right? It was like this excitement. And for the first time since 2000, we got our guy. Well, the Eagles, they thought they had their guy. He's a legit MVP candidate. It's like second or third year in the league. They pay him all this money, and ever since then, it's just been one downhill climb. So, it looks like this relationship's coming to an end. I don't know exactly how it will end.
Expensively.
Trade him, get value, whatever it is. Because, somebody will still probably take a chance on him, I'm guessing. But there are no excuses to be made for Carson Wentz. It's not about the weapons. It's not about the play callings. At the end of the day, he's just not seeing it right now. He holds on to the ball forever. Like the Saints might sack him 1,000 times when they play him here in a couple of weeks.
Remember, you can call today and get a free estimate from AccuTemp, AccuTempBR.com online, or you can dial them up at 926-2243 here in the listening area. That's a 225 area code. They offer monthly payments if you need to finance a new unit over at AccuTemp, online, AccuTempBR.com, or you can schedule your filter delivery today by logging online at AccuTempBR.com. Every week that LSU plays at halftime, they offer up the Tiger Tune-Up, which means you can text the number 31996, text the term halftime to that number to receive half off of your Tiger Tune-Up on your AC or heater.
So if you look right now in the NFL, 22 quarterbacks, or really, about 25 down to Tom Brady are all at about, Tom Brady's at 64.8%. So that's about the line.
So
65 is like the threshold, actually, above 60, right? And Brady's at 25. Right now, there are 3 quarterbacks completing less than 60% of their passes, and it's Drew Lock, Sam Darnold, and Carson Wentz.
Ew.
So not exactly good company to be in there.
All right, the Saints are getting ready for Atlanta on Sunday. Sean Payton was speaking a little bit yesterday on his teleconference here as we let you hear him talk about Adam Trautman, the tight end, as he is developing and continuing to develop and see his role expand within the New Orleans Saints. Here is Payton talking about the dominance that they have had in the NFC South.
There's a lot of things that you look back on and you're excited about. 4 straight winning seasons, that probably tells me it's coming from a program that hasn't had much success or history of success. And I'm being just honest. So I'm glad that that's 4 in a row. Certainly, our aspirations are much higher than having a winning season. That's all. So I don't really look at that and footnote it.
Yeah, it just gives you an idea of where the program is.
Falcons
where
game,
the franchise is.
Falcons game's gonna be a little interesting, man.
Yeah,
Falcons took care of the Raiders last week.
They did.
And
They have been playing a lot better under Morris.
And they had, and granted, they had been playing a lot better going into that ass whooping they caught a couple weeks ago. But that did have a little element of surprise with Taysom Hill. And now you've got a game of film. That's why I know that a lot of people, like I said, and I need to apologize to my guy Hanny, because apparently his Jameis Winston tweet was actually a joke, just didn't translate over text. And I kind of use that as a launching point to criticize all the people yesterday who were calling for that on Sunday. But yeah, so I really like I know it felt bad on Sunday offensively, but they didn't show anything, right? Like they were not forced to show any portion of that playbook that they did not want to. And so they still have a bit of an element of surprise going into this second Falcons matchup as well. But yeah, look, I've said it from the beginning. I think you split 1-2 with Atlanta. I hope I'm wrong, because when you look at the tiebreaker, winning your remaining NFC games is going to be crucial, especially with the Chiefs matchup coming up. But yeah, I'm a little on edge about this one. It's going to be tough, I think, for the D-line to replicate just its total, complete and utter domination of that Falcons O-line again.
First time since 2008, the New Orleans Saints have had the number one defense in the league, the number one rated defense in the league. Here's Sean Payton talking about what he's seen from that side of the ball.
I think we're playing the pass better. I think we've eliminated some of the big plays that were coming in earlier in the year. And then most importantly is third down and red zone defense has gradually gotten better. And it had to. It couldn't have gotten any worse. You know, we were last in the league there for a stretch in red zone. And so, you know, when you look at rankings, it's a little bit like your semester in school to some degree. If you start the semester off with 3 Ds, then, you know, it's going to take a while before you see the light of day. But I'm pleased with how we're playing situational defense. Yesterday, obviously, was, you know, a uniquely different deal. But we're getting off the field on third down, and I think we're affecting the quarterback more than we were earlier in the year.
A recap of Tell the Truth Monday and a preview of Competition Tuesday for LSU football coming from their head coach, Ed Ogeron, next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here by Central Plumbing Company, online centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Shout out to Jay Payne, Miss Lisa Payne, the crew over at Central Plumbing Company, 925-8552. They wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays during this time of the year. And if you need plumbing services, no matter if they're commercial or residential, get in touch with Central Plumbing Company, 925-8552 or online centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, like George said, commercial or residential. And look, what's your residence, right? You got an old home with a ton of character. Well, don't worry. They've been at it since the late 70s, y'all. 4 decades in the business. So you're not going to hit them with anything that they're not prepared to solve. But if you have a new home as well, it doesn't matter. The point is they can do it all because they've seen it all. I'm a repeat customer with Central Plumbing. Anytime I have any problem, I don't think twice, 925-8552. Come out later that day. My plumbing issues are solved. I don't lift a finger. I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. I just rely on Central Plumbing. Licensed, bond insured. The quality of work speaks for itself. Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who, without being asked, shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community? We believe that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust.
So, if you know someone that sounds like what Jordy was just describing, nominate them to be your good citizen, and they'll have a chance to win $500 from Citizens Bank and Trust. Plus, we'll mention him right here on the show. So go to citizensbankandtrust.com for more details and nominate your good citizen.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time. From Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, Jimmy recaps the Monday Night Football game and looks ahead to the rest of the week's action. Come enjoy some steak with us, or tune in here at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Coach O, and you are listening to my favorite radio show, Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob, right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Go Tigers.
Every Tuesday right here on Off the Bench, we catch up with LSU head football coach as the Tigers will play host to the number one team in the country, Alabama, who will be in town at 7 o'clock on Saturday night inside of Tigers Stadium. Your pregame coverage on game day will crank up at 2 o'clock on Eagle 98.1. We are joined now by the LSU head football coach, just like we are every week. Good morning, Coach Ogeron. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Competition Tuesday in Baton Rouge.
Absolutely, Coach. Recap, Tell the Truth Monday for our listeners. How'd it go?
Yeah, I really had to praise a lot of our players played their best football, especially on defense. And I was really pleased with the fight that our guys had. Really pleased with the defensive effort to hold Texas A&M to 13 points, 267 yards, to 16 on third down. I thought it was a tremendous effort by the defense. And I told the offense there's some schemes that we got to do better at. We got to put them in better schemes. We got to do a better job of coaching them. And it takes all 11 to protect the quarterback. And all 11 on offense, including the quarterback, are in charge of turnovers, and we got to block better. We got to protect better. I told them I couldn't put that on the freshman quarterback. We got to be able to have better schemes to be able to protect the quarterback. So I think it was a good day. I was really disappointed in the play of our special teams. We've been lights out on special teams all year, but caused a turnover. There was too much pressure on Zach and too many penalties. But, hey, that was Tell the Truth Monday. Our guys were great. They came in a great spirit. We had a great practice on Monday. It's Alabama week. Everybody over here is fired up.
Yeah, Coach, I want to start with that defensive performance because it's kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't just good. It was great. Under 250 yards, 30 points, all those things. And so much of it, to me, the increase in the defense over the last few weeks circles around Micah Baskerville being in the middle of that 4-3, dictating to the offense, playing decisive football. What have you all seen out of Baskerville?
Outstanding play. He's at the right place at the right time. The defensive line, I thought the defensive line had an outstanding game. It was probably their best game. Micah's playing well. Everybody's learning both scheme. But another thing, T-Bob, I know you guys noticed it, is we gave up very few explosive passes, and that was the difference. That was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, the coverage was fantastic, too, because, like, the pass rush, I mean, Mon felt it a little bit, but it wasn't getting home that much, but there was nowhere to go with the ball. What about that D-line, though? Because they were great against the run. It looks like now some new faces getting in. I love seeing 53 out there, Sony Fanua. Yeah. First time I've seen 53 make a play in a while. But, where did this come from with this defensive line, this performance? Because that's a really good A&M-O line.
Yeah. Well, they were challenged all week, for sure. And I thought Glenn Logan played his best game. Neil Farrell played his best game he's ever played here. BJ Ogeron, we're just getting off the blocks better. We're learning our schemes. And then Sony has been hurt most of his career here, but he's an effort player. He's an older player, knows what he's doing. I was glad to see him have success.
How much confidence does that group get from their performance last week going into what you called yesterday your biggest challenge of an offensive line of Alabama coming in on Saturday night?
It was a perfect test for them, I'll tell you what. And they passed it now. This is the best offensive line I've seen in a long time. I'm watching them right now. They're very good. They're very well coached. It's going to be a challenge. But you know what? This is going to be a physical game. It's a big man's game. We got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. It's going to be a challenge, but we're up to it.
Coach, one of the things that pops off when you look at this matchup is the experience that Alabama has. And when you talk about that offensive line, I mean, they've got 3 seniors that headline that group. You've been competing with 59 scholarship guys, which is pretty incredible. How do you get there from a roster management standpoint, and can you guys restore those numbers with just 25 hard cap that you can sign every year?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get close, I'll tell you that. But everybody that we recruit is going to have to be able to contribute next year, and especially on the offensive line if we lose everybody. So I'm looking for graduate transfers. I'm looking for junior college players, looking for great high school players who are ready to play. That's going to be a key part in our recruiting class.
And then a lot of the hope, Coach, when you're talking about the O-line moving forward into the future, it's the development of these young guys, right? Whether it's like Turner, Martinez, Hill, Doomerville, Bradford. To be completely honest, when I think they got in that Vanderbilt game, I thought they looked very raw, some of the guys maybe a little too big. How do you see these guys developing heading into next year?
You know, we talked about that yesterday. We have a roster management meeting every Monday morning, and I take away the guys that may leave. You got to project some of the juniors that may leave. Obviously, the seniors you're not going to get them unless they choose to come back because they can't come back because of the COVID. But we have some guys that got to lose weight. We got to have some guys that got to get bigger. So there's going to be a big off season for us.
Yeah, and so going back to the game last week, Coach, and the offensive line did struggle, and kind of the most surprising part was a lot of the blitzes that I think that A&M was employing were very similar things to what like Dave Aranda did for years, where you're walking up 6 guys in line and they're only bringing 4, but they're coming from all different sorts of directions. Why was it a scheme thing? Was it the players calling it out wrong? Like, why were y'all getting locked into slides instead of sorting things out more?
Yeah, it was scheme all the way. We should have went 5-0, T-Buck.
Yeah.
We went 5-0. We were sliding the line. We slid the line the wrong way several times, and they got us. We should have went 5-0, and you know what 5-0 protection is, and we could have, and that's what we usually do. So it was a coaching mistake. And that's up to me, and I got to prevent that. And I told the team that we should not have done that. It wasn't a good decision.
Yeah. So back to I guess some of the improvements though. Positively, we mentioned the coverage. How about the game that Cardell Flott played? I mean, not just in coverage, but in run support. The entire secondary seemed to lock in more last week than they had been all year.
Yeah, you know, less mistakes. I think that the more they learn Bo's defense, the more they learn their assignments, the more they learn their adjustments, they're able to play fast. You know, what you saw in Cardell Flott against the Texas A&M game is what I saw all camp. And it just took them a while. It just takes them a little experience to go out there and play fast and learn how to play at game speed.
You have mentioned Devonta Smith and what he means to this Alabama offense. Yep. It seems like you guys can neutralize him with at least talent with Derek Stingley Jr. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that matchup on Saturday night. What do you tell your star cornerback with Smith coming into Tiger Stadium?
Well, obviously, this is what Derek wants. But, you know, Derek's been against Jamar Chase every day, too. And Terrence Sparks, too. So, you know, it's good training. But Devonta, you got to give him credit. Steve knows how to give him the ball. He has 72 receptions. He's having a phenomenal year. He's a great player.
How much does this game mean for recruiting, Coach?
You know, a lot. You know, a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys are going to try to come on their own. I think from what we're hearing, we can't talk to them. We can't give them tickets, but there's some big-time recruits that want to be at this game. And, you know, everybody that we're recruiting is either LSU or Alabama, so it's huge.
Coach, as far as some advantages that you think you can maybe gain on Saturday when you're looking at a team as complete as Alabama, what are some of the things that y'all are highlighting?
Well, you know, I just think it's going to be about LSU. We got to go out there and play our best football. Go out there and play free, but we got to be physical. We got to match their physicality. We got to win the game up front. We're going to have to protect the quarterback, obviously, and then protect against the deep ball. We can't allow any explosive passes.
What was that conversation like with TJ Finley after that pick six last week? And then what's it been like kind of throughout the weekend after game film and heading into this week?
It's been great. TJ's a great young man. You know, after the Auburn game, when he had a turnover, some critical turnovers, I didn't say a word to him because he's a freshman. But I told him after that, you know, TJ, we can't allow that. We got to protect the ball. It was the heat of the moment, but I told him, hey, you can't do that in kind of an intense way. But TJ's a good young man. He took the coach, and I just thought it was a teachable moment for him. We talked about it, and we moved forward.
What are you looking for in your quarterback this week in preparation?
Well, just to go ahead and execute the offense. I think that not more or less the quarterback. I think more or less we got to have a great scheme on how we're going to run the football. We got to be more creative and run the football. We got to be exact in our protections, and we got to protect the quarterback. We got to get our guys open. We don't have Terrence Marshall. So here comes DeRay Jenkins. Here comes Corey Moore. Here comes Trey Palmer. Here comes Keyshawn Butte, John Trey Kirkland. It's their turn. They got to show up.
How was the lot? I'm sorry.
And get the ball back and get the ball to Eric Gilbert more.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely,
yes,
for sure.
absolutely,
How was the locker room yesterday with no Terrace Marshall? I know he delivered the news on Sunday, and you met with the group. How was that for the first time?
Jordan, the guys were good. They were good. Everybody knew that we played our best game in some phases. Everybody knew that we didn't play well in some other phases. It was a 24-hour rule. We moved on, but it's Alabama week, and these guys got to bounce in their step.
Love it.
Get any word about that Keyshawn Butte touchdown taken off the board from the league office?
Yeah, it should come back today, but I'll probably know what the answer is going to be already.
It was a great play by the freshman coach.
It
was a fantastic play by your true freshman. Looking forward to
You'll see many more from him, I promise.
Did y'all send in, just curious, did y'all send in the pick immediately afterwards where on the replay it clearly looks like the ball hit the ground?
Yeah, all that has been sent in, and Doug does a great job of getting it from the coaches, and we usually get a response today or tomorrow.
Bama week, Coach. Looking forward to Saturday night. Thank you for the time this morning.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There's Coach Ed Ogeron checking in this morning from LSU football. We'll close out hour one next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Daily here brought to you on OTB by All-Star Toyota. Remember, All-Star Toyota, great categories over there, whether it's the sales team, Aaron Piku, service department with Tommy Wagaspack and his crew, or the collision department over there at All-Star Toyota. Go in and see them on the corner of Goodwood and Airline, where they've been since 2005. Online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Shop all of the inventory there. They've got great selections of brand new cars. They've got over 90 to choose from of pre-owned and certified vehicles. Online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. The dealership's so nice. I've gone there twice. And look, yes, they're a huge sponsor of the show. We thank them for. We do commercials for them. But it's not like I got any sort of deal, right? I just needed not one, but two new vehicles, and All-Star had exactly what I was looking for. The minivan for the family, and then a really affordable 2020 Camry that I'm loving. So go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com today, see what you'll love.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Our local nonprofits help build a thriving community for all, and now it's time for us to give back. So join us for 225 Gives on Giving Tuesday, December 1st, to build community and unite action. Learn more at 225gives.org.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy,
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State License.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Henny, we'll be joined by LSU Sports Radio Network's Hunt Palmer, SEC Network's Chris Doring, and New Orleans Saints rookie tight end Adam Trautman. Hanging with Hester and Henny, weekdays from noon to 3 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, always appreciate Coach Ed Ogeron for his time here on Tuesdays on Off the Bench. If you missed it, you can catch it online, on demand, Off the Bench, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. T-Bob and Coach O, I thought, had a pretty good back and forth there when talking about the offensive line play from Saturday night when T-Bob had noticed a mistake from a scheme standpoint.
Well, yeah, it's exactly what I talked about with Brody yesterday on the Hold That podcast, which is out right now. Also, there's like a really good Cyber Week deal with The Athletic where you can get it for the entire year for $12 for $1 a month. If you want to cancel it anytime, theathletic.com/hold that podcast. But anyway, me and Brody, we were sorting through the O-line stuff yesterday, right? And that was pretty validating to hear O say that, because that was one of the most puzzling parts of this film, is that what A&M was doing and what they must have seen on film in the run-up to this game is very similar to the style of blitzing that Dave Aranda employed at LSU for years. So, like, stuff that these guys have practiced against for years. And what it is every third and long, they were walking 6 guys up on the line, maybe even having a 7th kind of floating around, and they were baiting LSU to calling these slides, only then to drop out where they slid and bring it from the other direction. Now, I got the feeling that the timing on those wasn't always that they were just reading LSU and dropping. I think Elko just – I have 2 thoughts on this. The first thing is what O talked about. I don't know why they were sliding to begin with. When you're going against that sort of defense that wants to show you a lot, and then they're only going to bring 4, but they're going to bring them from all different angles, what you got to do is exactly what O said, 5-0, okay? When the center gets the line, he normally calls out the formations. You say 5-0, 5-0. That basically means you're going to be man up in protection, inside, working out, okay? And so you're going to step down to your gap, just a quick little post-up. If your guy comes, okay, you got him. If your guy backs off, then you're immediately looking back outside. And it's a much more sorted out type of performance, but it's honestly, it's just how you have to handle that defense. So I was shocked when LSU continued to slide, and they're sliding right. It was just wasted resources all night long. The amount of times where you had 2 guys on one, or 2 guys, or even 3 guys on one, while a free rusher was hitting TJ Finley, it was way too many. So as Coach is saying there, and you could almost hear it in his voice, he's like, why we weren't doing that, I have no idea. It's a little inexplicable, and this is something that I meant to ask, and I forgot to write it down yesterday, and it's why I should always write everything down in my brain. But I wonder if this LSU offense doesn't have some tells at this point. We've talked about a bit of a lack of innovation. We've talked about a bit of the copy and paste nature. I think that when you're working with the narrow slice of the playbook that we're always talking about, it probably makes you even a little bit more predictable. But to me, I got the feeling that not only did Elko know tendency-wise what LSU kind of wanted to run when they wanted to. I mean, as I said yesterday, there were multiple times where Elko had what I would call the Tecmo Bowl call, where he had slanted the perfect direction to right where the zone was going. Or there was one 3rd and long where LSU runs a screen and they drop 8. And it's like the only time they drop 8 in the entire night. And maybe that was just good luck. Maybe he saw something, but he did a really good job. That I also feel that with those slides, so I don't feel A&M, I don't feel that they were reading it because of how the guys are moving at the snap. It was pre-planned. I feel like they knew how to bait LSU into sliding that way with the look they were giving them. So I wonder, as far as the offensive coaching staff, I wonder 2 things. First off, yes, you watched all the A&M film. You played a Dave Aranda defense for years. Why were you not in 5-0, sorted out, inside-out protection? And then are you becoming a bit too predictable? Like if you were to self-scout, are you noticing that we're falling into these tendencies, these rhythms, these traps? And you always want to avoid those sort of patterns because it makes it easier on the defense. They know it's coming. It's why I hate the hurry-up zone run on these short yardage situations nowadays. Again, you can do that when you have Lloyd Cushenberry and Damian Lewis and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Burrow's a threat to pull the ball. This team just cannot do that. And so you've got to look to evolve in some sort of way, and there's been a lack of evolution in this LSU offense.
Hour 2, remember your mailbag questions. We'll answer them at 8:15 this morning. If you want to jump inside of the Bayou Ford chat app, you can just drop the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll answer them at 8:15. Coming up in a couple of minutes. Looking forward to our conversation this morning with Derek Stingley Sr., just like we talk to him every week. Every Tuesday, brought to you by City Cafe. Remember, over at City Cafe, they're on O'Neill and George O'Neill. They've been in business for over 100 years. Me and Kelly went to the Sunday morning brunch over there at City Cafe. Always on time, man. Great selection. I got the steak and eggs. She got one of the brunch specials from Sunday morning. Fantastic service, fantastic food, fantastic atmosphere. It's always great over at City Cafe. Stop in and see them on George O'Neill and O'Neill, or online at citycafebr.net. So Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here in a couple of minutes. Compliments of City Cafe, 8:15, your mailbag questions. And then we're talking New Orleans Saints. Nick Underhill as the Saints winners of 8 straight and the number 1 defense in the NFL as they take off to Atlanta for a Sunday NFC South matchup. Tuesday edition of OTB, first of the month. Come back with us, driven and powered by All-Star Toyota.
Is this music on YouTube or is it just on the radio? Oh, it is. Okay.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Ochsner Sports Medicine over here at 3 locations serving our listening area. Baton Rouge on the Grove, over at the Grove location, Grove Boulevard, over in North Shore and Covington, and, of course, in New Orleans on Clearview Parkway. All state-of-the-art facilities. If you're an ancient athlete, an elite athlete, a high school athlete, even a young athlete, they can help you out, get back into the game, get back to being your top-performing self. Online, Ochsner.org is where you find out all of the capabilities that you can learn from Ochsner Sports Medicine. Online, Ochsner.org.
Ochsner.org. If you get injured, explore your options with Ochsner. Whether you're here in Baton Rouge, the Grove facilities are incredible. The MRI machine over there looks like something out of Tony Stark's lab. It's kind of mind-blowing. But look, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, North Shore, they got you. They have non-surgical options with the latest and greatest techniques. And if you do have to get cut on, there's nowhere you'd rather go. Go to Ochsner.org today.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, December 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies, a high of 58. In case you missed hour one of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come on Off the Bench, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next. Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. Remember, we have OTB Mailbag today, so get those questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Hashtag at OTB Mailbag, and we'll get those answered at 8:15 a.m. Follow the show today on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. And get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 off and at it off the bench. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online 104.5ESPN.com. Remember, we're driven and powered by All-Star Toyota. Anything you've missed here on Off the Bench, you can catch online. Brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Coach Ogeron was here at 7:30 this morning answering all the tough questions from the Off the Bench hosts.
Look, I try to keep my questions football and film related and pepper in a mixture of good and bad. Just reality of what we have to do. I am super upset, though, that I didn't ask about the offensive tells.
8:30 this morning, we'll talk Nick Underhill about the New Orleans Saints. He's over at neworleans.football, a great site Remember, you can join there and get all your information. Great podcast from NewOrleans.football as well. Underhill's Conversation is brought to you by local attorney here in Baton Rouge, Chris Perrette, former LSU Tiger. 8 a.m., our conversation with Derek Stingley Sr. on Tuesdays is brought to you by City Cafe. Remember City Cafe, 100 years in business. Sunday brunches, everyday boiled shrimp, charbroiled oysters, best in town. Stop in and see him. Everybody looking forward to the matchup of Devonta Smith and Derek Stingley Jr. on Saturday night, as this game might be out of whack and out of balance from a team standpoint. When you look at the Vegas numbers on this thing, Bama's a 4-touchdown favorite versus LSU on Saturday night. 4-score favorite, hovering around 29, 30 points. But everybody, especially in the NFL, will be watching the matchup of Derek Stingley Jr. against Devonta Smith. Those are two Sunday athletes going at each other for about 4 hours on prime time on Saturday night. Derek Stingley Sr., who is a great tutor of defensive backs in our area. He's also the defensive backs coach over at the Dunham School, and his son is the top defender in college football. He's with us every week here on Off the Bench. Good morning, Coach. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thanks. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing okay. I guess this is the week that we've all talked about from an individual standpoint as far as Junior goes, right, with Devonta Smith coming in on Saturday night. With a week like this, what is preparation like for Stingley Jr. individually?
Well, I think with him is just making sure that whatever the game plan is, that he executes it. He understands it's going to be an individual battle between him and more likely Devonta, but I'm pretty sure he'll have an opportunity to cover some of the other guys. But like you said, everyone will probably have a microscope on that between those two. And, he's just going to try to do his best. And I think that, he's grown a whole lot more from last year. He understands that he has to stay focused and not look over to the sideline if someone is calling his name and check the play. But I think that, he'll be ready. He's looking forward to it.
What did you make of Saturday's performance by the unit, by the defense? I mean, that was a big turnaround from what we've seen.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the better games the defensive unit played all year. I know the linebackers were playing like from sideline to sideline. I thought Cordell had an amazing game.
Yep.
Derek, he played well. I mean, he finally got some real opportunities to make some plays. And, it was good seeing him making some plays. And I thought that Jay Ward stepped up in place of Eli. And he made some plays, too. I mean, he got targeted. I don't think he had any catches over him, or maybe one. I think it was like a little miscommunication on something. He didn't get the play call, but it was like a 5-yard, 8-yard route. And I thought the safeties were where they needed to be. And, it was one of those games where, if we would have played a total team game, there's a good chance we would have had an upset, with the number 5 team in the country.
No, I mean, look, there's no way to slice it. It was actually a dominant defensive performance. I keep going back to it, but under 250 yards, 2 of 13 at third down, at 13 points, 0 in the second half is pretty wild, especially when you consider where A&M was and where this LSU's defense has been. And like you're talking about, Coach, one of the best parts of the game was the secondary, because LSU's pass rush wasn't getting home. The D-line was doing well in the run. They weren't getting there in the rush, but still, Mond had nowhere to go with the ball. In your mind, like, what's your view on how they avoided the breakdowns that have kind of defined the secondary for much of this season?
What I saw from being at the games, I think early on it looks like as if the coaches or the defensive staff was waiting for the formation to set to give the players the play. And then sometimes they were getting it in a little too late, or with not enough time for the players can kind of assess the formations, see the motions, see what's going on, to have that mental deal in their head of what they have to do. Now they're just giving plays before they even break the huddle. So they're adjusting on as the guys are coming out of the huddle, and they're playing faster. Now they don't have to be as surprised as they were before, because they was getting the play calls a little too late. That's just what I see. I see that they're ready to play, where before it was like a little bit of, oh, God, we just got to play. Oh, God, the ball is being snapped. Oh, what do we do? How do we communicate? Because you can see now that they're communicating well before the ball is snapped, where before they didn't have that chance to communicate with one another. To where now they're all on the same page, and it looked great. I mean, the last two games looked awesome to me on the defense side of the ball.
Derek Stingley Sr. joining us here just like he does every Tuesday, brought to you by City Cafe. Remember, as you can find them on the corner of George O'Neill and O'Neill Lane, and great brunch on Sunday mornings as they bring you that each week. Been in business for 100 years. Coach, as this week gets closer, the news of Terrace Marshall on Sunday. Derek and he were probably considered the top two players on this team. When you heard that news that Marshall was opting out, how did you receive it?
I was happy for him and his family. You have to be happy for him because, you don't get these opportunities as young men. This is a chance for him to better his life, to help his family out. Heck, we're all going to share the same memories with him. He helped us win a championship just as well as Jamar did. So for him to say that, he's opting out, you just have to look at his history. Look, coming out of high school, he had a terrible leg injury. Going into his first year, he's trying to come back, and it's just not him. Then last year, he gets another injury to where he's out a couple of games. And then this year, naturally, he started out with a bang, and I thought that he moved himself up the chart some, and this is just his opportunity. You can't be upset with a kid that want to better his life. I get it. I get we have the fans that think he's quitting and saying that he opting out shouldn't be a word. Opt out, it should be quit. But there's no difference if you were working as I don't know, I'm just talking. If you were working as an Uber driver, and then all of a sudden you get a call from the President of the United States, hey, I need you to be my driver, and you're going to make, opposed to you making $2,000 a week, you're going to make $200,000 a month. What are you going to do? You're going to better yourself because you don't have the opportunity that comes around as much as that. So he's just maximizing his life on salary, on money. If it's all about that, then that's what it's about. You can't make the kid into a bad guy because he wants to better himself. He gave us plays that we're going to look back on and be proud about. So I'm happy for him. I'm his supporter. I always have been. I'm good with his family. I think that he's going to do well once he gets to the NFL as well.
He's a first-round pick, huh?
I think he is. Oh, yeah. I mean, body type, speed, tough cover. He can get off the press. Now he's shown that he can play in the slot, in the inside and outside. So, that's different, So hopefully he'll get that opportunity. I'm hoping he goes in the first round.
Well, and I think, excuse me, I think that's where it gets a bit interesting, Coach, is that a lot of that will have to do with the combine, right, and how he does at the combine. And as a parent of a player that will have to go through that same rhythm, it's a tough decision point because if you're not competing for a championship, combine training is completely different than football training. There's so much rides on it. How much do you think maybe something like that influences decision where this season would have been over in a normal year right now, and instead there's like a month left? Like I can't help but feel that he wanted to get a jump on training for February.
Well, you know what, T-Bob? I don't think it's a jump. I think it's more so the NFL is not waiting on college football.
Yes,
the NFL
that's
timeline
well said.
is the exact same. College football pushed this season back.
Mm-hmm.
This time of the year would have been what?
This would have been the last game. He would have been. He would have been ready to. I mean, he could have theoretically opted out right after this or whatever, not played in the bowl game, and gone and trained for the NFL.
Exactly. So now he's back on the timeline for the NFL to start training, to get ready for the combine. Because for him, the 40 is going to be the magic thing for him. Yep. He has to run a good 40. So that's his way of making a life for himself. I got to start training for the 40 because that combine is coming. So at this point, I think that he just jumped back on the NFL timeline and go pro. And, it has probably some other issues behind it. Maybe he did look and say, are these games meaningful? What bowl game will we be playing in? We'll be playing in Texas Bowl or the Gator Bowl. I don't know, whatever they're talking about, we may go. And I'm thinking if we would have been undefeated, fighting for the playoffs, have an opportunity for the championship game, he probably don't make this decision.
Yeah.
you know. So me personally, I think that he's just preparing himself to put himself in a position to be, you know, a better pro and make some good money for himself and his family.
What do you think Derek could run in a 40? Like when he really trains for it?
Derek?
Yeah.
Oh, he ran in high school on the laser time for the opening. He ran a 4.3 flat. And then I think the second time he ran a 4.33
on the laser.
Yeah, on the laser. Yeah, it's verified.
Damn.
No, he's pretty fast.
I'm ready for Saturday night.
He's straight line fast.
So would you put, like, if you were, I hate to put you, but would you just put him on Devontae and just say follow him for 4 hours?
I would, but at the same time, I would run some type of coverage too. You know, I wouldn't say, hey man, it's just you and him by yourself, and y'all just, you know, battle it out. You know, I would do some things to confuse the quarterback a little bit, but I think that's your best matchup. I mean, I understand that Alabama is favored, but I think that may be the game within the game that people can pay attention to. So it's going to be entertaining.
We will talk to you next Tuesday. Enjoy Saturday night.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, Coach.
City Cafe brings you that conversation with Derek Stingley Sr. each week. Remember, go see Cody Miranda, Dirk, Coach Squeaky Miranda, and the crew over at City Cafe, and let them know you heard it right here on Off the Bench. Your mailbag questions next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, DGBauto.com. Remember, get out and see Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Mr. Kenny Frederick Jr. getting out there tomorrow, going out to Donaldsonville. T-Bob and I are going to eat at the Grapevine, one of the great establishments out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana.
Yeah, man, I love it down there.
Go see the boys, Kenny Frederick, Nick Frederick, and the crew. Always look forward to getting down to 415 Division Street. Always a clean shop, man. I'll never forget, we took TJ Solis, who's our director of sales over here at Guarantee Media, out to Donaldsonville Glass and Body to meet the Fredericks and the crew. And the first thing he said when he walked in was, my God, this place is so clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's immaculate.
It's not normally what you expect from the facilities of a car shop.
40 years in business. Pride every day. DGBauto.com.
Yeah, it's also it's the quality of the work. I talk about it every day, right? I mean, the collision repair, they are the best body shop in the state. And if you get in an accident, Nick Frederick will pick you up for free. They'll fix your car, and then they'll drop it off at your house for free. The towing is free. Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com today.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge. Innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4 Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4 Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4 Kids helps kids through golf. because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davey talks Tigers. Larry Holder talks Saints. And we'll recap LSU Southeastern in hoops. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Make Christmas wishes come true this holiday season with 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge's $15,000 sweepstakes presented by Acura of Baton Rouge. Sign up now at 1045ESPN.com for your chance to win $15,000 from 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, I got it wrong earlier in the show. I said that the number one defense in the league, the New Orleans Saints, who hold that title right now, that was the first time that they had held that moniker since 2008. I was wrong. T-Bob fact-checked me. It's actually week 8 of 2000.
Yeah.
First time in the Sean Payton era that the New Orleans Saints defense has been ranked number one. You can always count on their offense to be either number one or in the top 3 every year, every week, it seems like, consistently. But now to see on the other side of the ball with them holding the top spot, pretty scary to think about. You know what I mean? Like it's always been the formula that you've asked for as a New Orleans Saints fan, as just an average defense.
Yeah.
To go alongside this explosive offense. Now you've got the league's best defense to go along with Sean Payton calling plays on the offensive side.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. It's also, I think, pretty validating for a lot of the Saints writers that hyped up at this defense in preseason, only to be a little disappointed in the first few games. I mean, certainly this looks like the defense you expected to see. I think that is also interesting and worth pointing out is that they did not start well. As Larry Holder points out Jeff Duncan in his piece in The Athletic, through 5 games, the Saints had averaged giving up 30 points and 337 yards and 100 yards rushing. All 3 of those figures would have ranked them in the bottom third of the league. That's a pretty big sample size. That was over a quarter of the season. That's the level that they were at. But since week 6 and kind of, in the midst of this winning streak, they have allowed 12.5 points a game, only 241 yards, and only 57 rushing yards per game. And they now rank in the top 5 of every major defensive metric. So it's not just that they've been the number one. Like, they've been extraordinarily dominant to get back to number one after the shaky start. What's interesting is, can they finish as number one? I was also intrigued to read this in the Duncan piece. Not even the Dome Patrol. The Saints have never had a defense finish number one in the NFL at season's end. I think that it says in 83, 91, and 92, they ranked second in the NFL. So you could be Sean Payton on top of all the offensive mastery. Here at the end, he's trying to sneak in another accolade to add to his belt, hopefully finishing with the number one defense in the NFL. We'll see.
T-Bob, before we get to the mailbag questions, when I read this story, I thought of you. Darrell Bevell was announced the interim head coach for the Detroit Lions over the weekend, with Matt Patricia being fired. So yesterday he had his first press conference, and they were talking to him how he got the news. And he said it was a really exciting weekend for him because he got the news that he was the interim head coach of the Detroit Lions, and both of his daughter's boyfriends asked for his permission to marry his daughters. Both of them. In fact, one of his daughters is a BYU softball player, and they were out taking batting practice. The boyfriend takes a softball off the eye while in the emergency room waiting on the stitches is when he asks permission for Bevel to have his daughter's hand in marriage. The problem is that the fiancés to be, the boyfriends, have not yet asked the daughters to marry them.
But it's
so
public
they
knowledge.
found out yesterday in watching his inaugural press conference.
Oh, because Bevel said all this.
Because Bevel said in his press conference, they said, Coach, how was your weekend? Well, the weekend was great. I was
Did he
announced
give away
Detroit
his game
Lions
plan
head
too?
coach.
Guy, dude, the poor guy.
And then
just
both
said,
of
yeah,
my
did he
daughter's
give away the game
boyfriends asked to have their hand in marriage. And so one of the questions, one of the reporters follows up and says, so how did the engagements go? And he says, well, that hadn't happened. All they've asked is her permission.
It just happened, Coach. It just happened.
They do know.
Daryl,
Daily, we're brought to you by Landwine Insurance, LANOIX agency.com, 749-5640. Remember, get in touch with Randy, Brian, and David today for all your insurance need. Auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance. Landwine Insurance, LANOIX agency.com.
So innocent.
They're standing by, isn't it?
It's so
Yeah,
innocent.
just
He was
a happy
so happy,
moment,
dude.
bro.
He was
He's a
so
good
happy.
moment. You caught him. I mean, everybody wants transparency from their head coaches. They want the truth. They want the coaches to speak without getting any coach speak. And here's Darrell Bevel just going flying from the hip, giving you the facts. And next thing you know, he's in trouble at home.
Would you question though if old guy was asking after he caught a softball to the head? Is he? I mean, is he concussed? Is he in the right head-making space there?
I mean,
don't
what
know.
type of athlete are
Did
we
you
dealing
make
with
those
here?
type of decisions
I mean,
there?
if my daughter's the athlete of the two, and you can't even catch a pop-up coming from her.
Oh, man.
All right, here's your mailbag questions every week.
Shout out Daryl Bevel.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
OTP Mailbag, how long after Thanksgiving can you eat leftovers? 1 week? 2 weeks?
I threw mine away last night.
Oh,
I
you didn't finish it?
I went grocery shopping. I just had a
now.
couple of sweet potatoes left and a little macaroni and
Sweet
cheese.
potatoes always get leftover, to be honest.
Oh, ours are gone.
Oh, really?
Those gone.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I ate leftovers all the way up until Saturday, I believe. Saturday was the last time I had a Saturday night was the last time I had a leftover meal from Thanksgiving. And then yesterday went grocery shopping, cleaning out the refrigerator. I threw them away.
I think we polished them off Sunday at lunch.
I finished the traditional leftovers 2 days ago for lunch, but I am still eating where the majority of the turkey went. I'm still eating. I have about 2 or 3 bowls left of the turkey and sausage gumbo.
Yeah, so
that I made, and it is getting better every single
Really?
day that it just sits there and
What gumbo
basks in
does.
its own juices, dude.
I
Every
did
day
make
it gets
chili over
better.
the weekend.
Oh,
Okay. Cold
went in
weather
first
chili goes a
time.
nice
It was the
way.
first time I made the chili.
So yeah, I mean,
so we're eating leftovers there too.
We debone the turkey and freeze it and then use it for turkey gumbo for Christmas. So technically, if you want to get that technical with Thanksgiving leftovers.
Well, not to brag, but when I made that turkey stock, it was a ton of stock. I split it in half, made half this gumbo with that. I have the other turkey stock frozen for whenever I want to use it down the road. So there you go. You just gave me an idea. A little turkey Christmas gumbo. Chicken and stuff.
Every year.
Also, I mean, as I get older, more and more I'm falling in love with potato salad and gumbo. Something that I didn't engage in as a kid, but now I can't have it without it.
Potato salad's gross.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you get it.
On that note,
Bad science. Bad science.
I was waiting for the
Bad
terrible
science.
Bad take.
I'm kidding, it's average.
Still pretty bad science
C
there.
tier.
OTP Mailbag, would T-Bob be the best O-lineman on this LSU team?
No chance. No chance.
Who's better than you?
I'm like Liam Shanahan level. I was a scrapper. Just trying to make it, man.
You'd no doubt start on this group.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
I was an all SEC honorable
Yeah,
mention.
I mean,
so there you go.
He's a 7-game starter in the 2011
So there
offensive
you go.
line. Yeah, they had 2 All-Americans on that group or one?
One.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy Willie B. Will Blackwell. No, I mean, look, I was an okay player. But yeah.
He would definitely start on this offensive line. Let me
Yes.
answer that for him.
OTP Mailbag, have you started listening to Christmas music?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fully. I've been in it actually since my in-laws got in town for Thanksgiving. I just went full ahead with Christmas. We built the platform, installed the tree yesterday. It looks incredible. lights going on tonight with ornaments. Going to be drinking eggnog, Christmas music in the house.
Hey,
we're all
wow.
in. Yeah,
What a
we're all
picture.
in. Yeah,
What a
can't
picture
wait.
painted.
Got both my podcasts done
Eggnog
yesterday.
is disgusting.
No.
Get the hell
Yes,
out of here.
it is
So,
terrible.
Are you kidding me?
It's awful.
What a great winter buzz.
Eggnog buzz is
wrong
one of the
with being
best
too
out
thick.
there.
Yeah,
I'll tell
yeah. It's sweet. It's
Eggnog
delicious.
buzz. You're hugging everybody.
Yeah, you keep going back for
That's
more.
great.
It's
You're
so
singing the
warm.
Christmas songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
The buzz might be great. What you have to do to get the buzz is terrible. It tastes like crap.
Oh my God, dude.
Terrible takes from behind the glass today.
Wow, bad science all around from you too.
OTB Mailbag, what Christmas traditions do y'all have?
Decorating the tree with the family, huh?
Yeah, that's
good
definitely one. And I think this new platform thing, obviously the Snow Village is going to be a big one that we're going to add to every single year, piece by piece. It is interesting because I'm now trying to form my own family traditions as opposed to the ones that I grew up with. So we're still figuring it all out.
I don't know why, but it seems if I've become obsessive compulsive over stockings on the mantle. I'm a big fire guy. I like to decorate the
I
fire.
do love fire.
But for whatever reason, I brought down the just kind of the ornaments and the decorations for the tree, and I've got 4 stockings, yet only 2 people live in the house. So I don't know.
Ready for more? Is this like a little Freudian thing here? You know, I mean, maybe your loins are calling out to you and you don't even quite realize it.
Oh man, 50 in the carpool line ain't gonna do it.
I had something to say, but I forgot.
Oh, no more traditions there?
I had something, but it'll come back to me, I'm sure, in a second.
I don't know. I guess I kind of mentioned it earlier, the turkey and sausage gumbo for dinner, for Christmas dinner every year.
Hell yeah.
Do it the same way every year. OTV Mail. Danny, go
New Orleans celebration in the Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah. That's great.
And then I go to the Roosevelt.
When do those go up?
Yeah,
that should be up
Roosevelt's
right now.
always nice.
Huh? I know the Roosevelt's up.
Yeah.
The Roosevelt's
celebration
decorated.
Oaks, I think.
I mean, that should. I think it goes up December 1st. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
December 1st.
One more OTB Mailbag. How cold is too cold for you to be outside?
I mean, kind of right now, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
I was freezing this morning. I'd say that my windshield was legitimately iced over this morning. I had to sit there and park for 10 minutes as it defrosted.
I will look like I am in Antarctica tonight at Jay's football game.
Yeah.
I mean, I will be. You will only see my eyeballs.
We had the kids Christmas tree shopping last night, and it's so funny. You know, it's like 40 degrees, right? And we had them probably even warmer at the time, and we had them bundled up like a Christmas Story. Like they could barely move, just kind of doing this thing right here. But that's how it is in Louisiana. We are hot weather people. Our bodies adjust to it, so anything cold feels demonstrably colder to us.
Cold weather makes me mad.
It
aggravates.
Same. If I'm being honest, like once it gets below 55, I don't really want to do it. I will do it. But once you get to 45, I'm out. Like I'm not going outside.
Well, I will
unless
be
I
outside,
have
but
to.
I do like it when it's that cold outside, especially around Christmas, because it does give you a very Christmassy sort of feel.
Just don't need it.
Those are your mailbag questions here every week. We always appreciate the interaction.
And we'll revisit. We have a lot left over today because of time, so we'll revisit some of those in the third hour as well.
Greg Lamont, we'll answer yours next week. Nick Underhill next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here by Go Roof. Online at GEAUXroof.com. Get in touch with Go Roof today for your free professional estimate. Get in touch with the boys as they can get you today. Residential, commercial, does not matter. If you need roofing repair, 927-8300. You can get with Go Roof, GEAUXroof.com.
GEAUXroof.com. Shout out Tommy, Bobby, and the boys. Just went and saw him a couple weeks ago. Look, why don't you see him by getting a free professional estimate? That's right. No upfront cost. They come out there, look at your roof, and tell you exactly where you stand, and you make a fully informed decision on what to do next. On top of that, so that's at the beginning of the process, how about the security at the end, a 2-year workmanship guarantee? And that's on top of the manufacturer warranty. So you have peace of mind for a long time. The quality of the work's is second to none. Get that free estimate. Learn what it's like to Go Roof. You're going to love them just as much as we do. GoRoof.com, a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Roof's hot.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the...
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time. From Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, Jimmy recaps the Monday night football game and looks ahead to the rest of the week's action. Come enjoy some steak with us, or tune in here at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? Be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
NewOrleans.football is where you read all the information. You got to subscribe if you're a Saints fan because it is the best, man. He's got the best information, and it's the best site, NewOrleans.football. Great podcast alongside of that website as well, and it is Nick Underhill, who's the author and publisher, and he is with us every Tuesday. Compliments of former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. Nick, good morning. Happy belated Thanksgiving.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing all right. Saints have the #1 defense in the league. Did you anticipate that at any point this season?
Well, I mean, it does help that they got to divide their previous stats by one more game without actually having to play a team. I do think that they're probably playing like one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they are 5th in points. I tend to look at points a little bit more than yards. And, they've just had a couple weird games, too, that I think help with that. The Denver game, San Francisco didn't really have any players, although they looked better this week than they did a week ago. And I'm not saying that to take anything away from the defense. I think their rise has been legitimate. I think they are playing like one of the better units in the league, but like ranking them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it's just tough to do because this year's so weird. And I think that they did benefit tremendously in this last game against Denver. Definitely helped fix the curve from earlier in the season when they were struggling mightily, with executing coverages and stuff. But they did fix that. And, I do think that the tape would bear out that they're probably top, 5-10 unit in the league right now.
Do you feel a bit validated to see that, considering all the preseason conversations we had versus how they came out the gate?
Yeah, I mean, I was out here like Flavor Flav just hyping them, and you know. So, yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to have to answer for that at some point, and I started to doubt myself a little bit. You know, you start to question what you're looking at and if you were seeing the things you should have seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely for me and my brand. It's definitely good that they're playing better.
I love your film study, Nick. If you don't follow Nick on Twitter, you should. He includes screenshots, everything else, and again, Sign for New Orleans on football. What were your main takeaways from your Saints film room this week?
I thought that they did a really good job. You know, this wasn't the most interesting game to watch, and I can understand it being a little bit boring just because it didn't really feel like a legitimate competition. But some of the stuff the Saints were doing in this game, you know, Sean Payton's known for being someone that beats you formationally and with personnel groupings and all this other stuff. But every now and then he does some stuff that reminds you that he's seeing things a little bit differently than everybody else, and he exceeds himself. And there were a few plays in this game where they just broke a Denver defense, and this is a very well-coached team, and they got some smart players on defense. And there were just a couple of times the way the Saints lined up, they won before they even snapped the ball. And on the first touchdown, I think it was probably the best example of this that I've seen in a long time, you know, from Payton. And there's a lot of stuff on that resume to choose from. But on the first touchdown, they lined up. They put three guys wide. They had the fullback, Will Clapp, and a tight end to the left. And they just got Denver to shatter right there. They moved four guys over, probably expecting what I call a shield screen. It's one of those plays where they have, you know, the guys in the bunch formation, the three guys on one side, and they'll throw the screen and he'll slip behind the other two and, you know, just sneak right into the end zone. And it's a play that's worked a lot for them. And they saw Clapp over there, saw it heavy, must have thought that was coming. So they already had numbers in the box, and they motioned Alvin over, and, you know, they got a two-man advantage if you count Taysom as a quarterback, you know, just for a run, and he just runs in standing up. And, you know, it was stuff like that. They had Clapp in motion throughout the game, you know, on power running plays, and they were just doing all kinds of stuff that you don't normally see them do. And I think the creativity to protect Taysom Hill in this game came out in a big way.
So one interesting story that I don't know how deep it goes or how much of truth there is to it, Nick, is that after they figured out Denver's quarterback situation, that this game plan underwent some changes, right? Making it more conservative, maybe playing things more close to the vest. Is there any truth there? Like, how much did the Saints change when they learned that, well, they were going to be facing a guy who's not really an NFL quarterback?
They did barely throw the ball, but early in the game, they did come out and they were trying to execute some stuff, and I don't think it really worked as well as hoped. And, you know, maybe there was some change to the game plan and it did become more conservative, but maybe also after seeing the way the game started that you lean into that a little bit more. You know, I don't think Taysom was as good as he was the first week. There was some stuff in this game, you know, very early on that first drive, like, he didn't see Alvin Kamara in the flat on third down. He had Traquan Smith over the middle on the same play for probably what would have been a first down if he had seen him. And, you know, he just kind of holds the ball and gets sacked. And there were just a couple things throughout the game. You know, the pass up the sideline to Mike Thomas, like, you could say it's a conservative game plan, but he threw down the field. The back shoulder pass that he threw out of bounds. On the same play, he's looking at Traquan Smith, you know, come up out of the slot, and it's his own coverage. And he looks off Smith just as he starts his break, and he's wide open over the middle. And I don't know if he recognized the coverage or not on that play. And instead he looks over to Mike Thomas and, you know, he throws a pass into coverage. And it's not a bad throw to Mike Thomas, you know, one-on-one up the sideline, a back shoulder throw. I mean, I don't think that's, you know, necessarily dangerous, but there was an easier throw over the middle. And there was just some stuff in this game that he missed throughout. And, you know, if he's a little bit off and you're playing a team without a quarterback and you're already planning to go conservative, I think you can see early on, like, hey, if we don't turn the ball over, we're going to win this game. Like, we should lean into this more. And I think there was maybe a little bit of both. I think that maybe it wasn't as conservative, but I think it got more conservative as it went on.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Talking to Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill. Sign up for NewOrleans.football. It's the best Saints site out there. You highlighted Adam Trautman on Twitter, Nick, and it's kind of funny because, like, just scrolling my timeline and I see you talking about him. And then I see the Saints PFF account talking about how he's actually been, for 3 of the last 4 weeks, the highest graded player. Now, granted, he's not getting most plays, but the highest graded player has been dominant run blocking. What have you seen out of the rookie tight end?
I think he's running routes really well. I think that's one thing that stands out. And 2 weeks ago, he ran more, and it looked even better then. His run blocking is really good, and I think the willingness to run block is the thing that stands out the most to me. And it was even there in college, but he wasn't very refined. Like, he was just kind of someone that would just be the first guy through the line, flying through, just willing to hit somebody, not necessarily knowing how to block, but wanting to block. And I think that's probably the most important element of it. You get guys like Jimmy Graham who don't want to block, and you can't really teach someone that doesn't want to do it. He wants to do it, and he's very tenacious, and I think his technique as a run blocker is coming up. Sometimes in pass blocking, he was better in this game. The week before against Atlanta, it was rough, and I think throughout the season that there's probably more rough moments than good moments, just because I don't think his technique and strength is quite all the way there. Like, when he's coming up from a 3-point, like, he gets blown back a little bit. When he's moving forward as a run blocker, he gets a little momentum going, and he's able to hold his ground a little bit better. And he's hitting linebackers and defensive backs instead of getting blown up by whoever's the Cam Jordan on the other team, and he's just not quite at that point yet. But I think he will be. And the upside with him, I think if you look at this rookie class, he's the one guy that you probably feel the most optimistic about, and everybody else is kind of like we'll see how it goes with the rest of these guys. But I think he's definitely the one guy that has, you can see it right now, that has a bright future.
Well, looking to the future, Nick, this Falcons game feels pretty interesting. I've kind of been feeling a 1-1 split, which is, it's a pretty milquetoast call, right? That's generally just how these things tend to work out. The Falcons dominate the Raiders on Sunday, but they got dominated by the Saints a couple weeks ago. How are you seeing this matchup part 2 playing out?
I think that Taysom Hill is going to have to play better in this game, and they're going to throw a lot of stuff at him. In the first game, they kind of were a little bit static on defense. It was a lot of cover 1 and cover 3, and cover 1's a man coverage, cover 3's a zone. But on the outside, you're going to get man-to-man matchups, and they're a little bit easier to read. And it's a little bit easier when it's just all single high safety, and you can kind of just see if they're playing man or zone over the middle. There isn't that much to read, and I think that Atlanta's going to come back in this game after seeing how Denver approached Taysom Hill. I know the Saints, they say it wasn't about the defense, and Taysom managed the game how they wanted him to, but Denver played a lot of coverages, and I think that the multitude of coverages played a factor in how Taysom performed in this game. And if you're the Falcons, you at least have to emulate some of that and throw some more stuff at him and make it a little bit harder for him to read the field. And if they do that, I think that levels it out a little bit, and it's a closer game. So, it's really on him and his development. And I'm not there yet with him. I know some people, the first game, they were ready to coordinate him. This game, they're ready to, throw him out of town and go with someone else, and it's over. I think we're still in the data collection, element of this. I think if you look through Drew Brees' career game log, you'd find games where he just had a horrible game against a really good defensive coordinator. And I think sometimes that happens, and we'll see how he bounces back from it and keeps going. But, I think it's kind of that evened out point. And I think this Falcons game is going to be important, at least in how he's viewed. I think it's important for him too, in his confidence. I think he's probably putting a lot of pressure on himself every game. He wants to prove it. You're 30 years old. This is kind of your window to show everybody what you can do after being doubted. And, I think there's just a lot on him, and he just needs to prove that he can go out there and do what the Saints believed he could do coming into this. And it's going to be a little bit harder. But, yeah, if he sees the field, if he can read defenses, if he can do all that stuff and prove that he can be it, I think they can win again. But, if not, it's going to be a little bit tougher, and, they're going to have to find another way to win if he struggles like he did against Denver.
Is Goodell serious with taking this pick away?
The 7th-round pick?
Yeah.
I don't think so. The guys you sign, where it hurts is because they might lose a 6th-round pick because they signed Jameis Winston too early. They traded a 6th-round pick for Tommy Stevens. I don't know if it's a big deal, though. Those guys in the 6th, 7th round, 5th round, undrafted players, they're all kind of bunched in there the same on a team's board. And you start drafting guys in the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, definitely the 7th round. It's just kind of like, oh, well, other teams might be on this guy more than us. He might be hard to sign as a signing bonus. Oh, like the Falcons have a relationship with this guy's agent, and he'll sign with them because the relationship's better. So we need to beat them to the player. I think in the 7th round, you're looking at your not Adam Trautman's, but your Marquez Callaway's the same as, a Tommy Stevens. And it's just like, which one can we sign? Which one can't we sign? And you draft the one that you don't know that you can sign. So it hurts a little bit like that, but I don't think it hurts as far as like talent acquisition. I don't really. It's a gamble at that point, and they can overcome it. It's just kind of more symbolic than anything. It's an annoyance. It's a speeding ticket, but it's not something that's going to hurt the development of your team or roster building or anything.
To me, it's just it's not, maybe hypocrisy is not it's a selective enforcement. There's locker rooms all over the league that have been having post-game celebrations without masks on, and yet the Saints get highlighted.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, I don't want to be careful how you say things in 2020. And I want to preface this by saying that, I'm someone that's compliant with everything everybody tells you to do. I don't leave the house. I take everything seriously, but you watch videos pregame. What's the difference between a team huddling on the field and, having a hype speech and your quarterback's in the middle of it screaming, and when you're screaming, spit's flying and nobody's wearing masks then, and that's okay, but then you go in a locker room and it's not. I think by the time you get to Sunday, it's just kind of like everybody's out there. They're doing what they're doing. Guys are on the sideline, and now that they're starting to wear masks, when they huddle on the sidelines and all that stuff. But, before then, even it's not even just selective enforcement of team, because there's multiple teams on video. It's selective enforcement of situations, and it just hasn't made a lot of sense. And I don't think the league has done a good job of making sense and enforcing the things that need to be enforced. There's a ton of breakouts all over the place. It's just kind of like they're throwing everybody out here, hoping everybody does what they're supposed to do, and then they come in and make symbolic gestures at certain points to remind people. And it's just maybe you should have better protocols from the very start and made teams bubble in hotels and, their respective cities, or done something else. But you can't just come in and decide we're going to hammer the Saints and then hopefully everybody falls in line. That's just not a good way to do it. And, hopefully they get to the end of the season. It looks like they will, but there's starting to be signs where it looks like, you should be a little bit worried the way last week went. So hopefully they figure it out and they can keep it together for the next 7-8 weeks and the season ends. But the way they've done this from the start, I think is deserving of a lot of criticism, because it just doesn't seem like there was ever a great plan.
Have a great weekend, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys too.
Nick Underhill checking in with New Orleans football and Saints conversation there. We'll close at hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here on OTB by All-Star Toyota. Remember, online All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Stop in and see him today. Great showroom over there. Aaron Piku, sales manager. Stop in and see him. Great selections of new cars and pre-owned and certified vehicles. Online, you can find them at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota.
Hey, snipe.
These allergies are killing me, man. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. The new 2021 Camrys are here. The new 2021 Corollas are here. The new 2021 Tundras are here. I think you're sensing a pattern here, right? The 2021s are at All-Star Toyota. So go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today. Check them out for yourself. See if maybe they hold some interest for you. Look, maybe you want something more affordable. You get a Toyota certified used vehicle. Comes with things like a warranty that you normally don't get on used vehicles. But check out the leasing options as well. That's what I'm doing with the new Camry, and I am in love. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motors you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4 Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4 Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4 Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, we'll be joined by LSU Sports Radio Network's Hunt Palmer, SEC Network's Chris Doring, and New Orleans Saints rookie tight end Adam Trautman. Hanging with Hester and Hanny, weekdays from noon to 3 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, looking forward to the showdown tonight between the Mid-City Blue Jays and the Southdown Chargers. Still looking for a video guy if you're out there and you want to get some experience tonight on the camera.
Yet.
You can email in Jordy at 1045ESPN.com. Greg Lamont had an OTB mailbag question asking why George Munoz did not get promoted to passing game coordinator. It said, Jordy, it seems like you wanted to say something about Munoz and why he did not get promoted to passing game coordinator. Can you take this time now to elaborate on why that did not happen? I was just surprised that it didn't happen because when Ogeron came on off the bench during that hiring process, he kept talking about George Munoz and not wanting to get away from what they had experienced in 2019 and just keeping some type of brain part there that was a part of that offense. And George Munoz, look, you don't have to look too far to see how much he meant to last year. He was on Joe Burrow's front row of his Heisman speech. He was the quarterback coach. He was routinely behind Ogeron during the game, which makes me believe that he was the game manager for the program. So it was just surprising to me to see that Munoz names, once it was talked about so much, then left out, and Scott Linehan was the guy. Hour 3 next.
Off the Bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Brought to you by Secure Shredding and Recycling, online secureshreddingandrecycling.com. Remember, if you need mobile shredding, they offer it over at Secure Shredding and Recycling. If you want to drop off your materials that you need shredded, you can do that as well over at Secure Shredding and Recycling. All their services, all the contact information, document destruction specialist is online at secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they went with the bigger name instead of maybe the best candidate. And
look at Baylor.
When you're talking about secure shredding and recycling, you're talking about the best candidate that's on the way to being the biggest name. Now, look, the national guys, Secure Shredding Recycling is going to give you a much better rate. But more importantly than the rate itself is the customer service, right? When you're talking about document destruction, be it hard drives, be it paper, they are there for you. It's a services business there to serve your business needs, and nobody does it better than Secure Shredding Recycling. So go to secureshreddingandrecycling.com today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, December 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 58. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. You can watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou Ford chat to interact. Make sure you get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications because new content is posted there daily. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Third hour of OTB. We like to call it OTBOT. T-Bob Hebert, Danny Cardenas, Matthew Musso hanging out with you this morning. It is Tuesday. We have a pretty set schedule here on Tuesday where this segment, I have a specific conversation in mind. I want to break down the race for the 1 seed, as last night's Monday Night Football game made it a bit more interesting. The Seahawks stabilizing, re-entering the fold some defensive improvement, though it's the Eagles. So is your pass rush good, or did you play Carson Wentz? That is something that we will discuss. But when you look, it looks like a tight race between Seattle and Green Bay and the Saints. And as we'll explain, I think you actually need Seattle to be involved in this race. I think it behooves you. And we'll explain why in a little bit. So we're going to dive into some Saints 1 seed talk. Coming up next segment, we close the book on the NFL week that was, our takeaways from the biggest game, kind of relook at the standings. So all the NFL news tends to go long, but it's a fun kind of full NFL recap. Even though we haven't played a full week. There's one game left floating in the wind. I know how everybody feels about Thursday night football. How do you feel about Wednesday night football? A little Ravens-Steelers action tomorrow night. Officially responsored. And then coming up later in the show, we have a ton of mailbag questions that we didn't get to because we always go long with Stingley, and then we want to get to Underhill so we can answer some of those as well since y'all were kind enough to put those in there. Are y'all arguing about whether or not Lil Wayne hangs out in New Orleans in the YouTube chat right now, Danny? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with Hold the Mayo right now.
Shout out Hold the Mayo. Check him out on Facebook Live. He does fantastic work. Devin Snow does. And I know yesterday was Monday, which means he ate red beans and rice from somewhere. So if you want to check out that review, go check it out. All right, let's talk about what happened last night. So admittedly, I did not watch the Monday night game, but I did watch the highlights, right? And you read about it. And I don't really care about how the game itself went down as much. But it now looks, as we sit here on December 1st. How about it? They didn't realize December 1st. As we sit here on December 1st, these Saints are exactly where you would have loved for them to be back at the beginning of the season. They're currently 9-2, 7-1 in the NFC, which is crucial, as we'll see. Whereas the Seahawks and Packers are nipping at their heels at 8-3. Now, I don't know that anybody looks as complete as the New Orleans Saints does in the NFC, like as good as the Packers are. Their defense is definitely not as good as the Saints. I also look, LaFleur and Rodgers are really good, but I think Sean Payton is kind of flexing on the entire NFL when it comes to coaching ability right now. So I think the Saints have a defensive advantage over Green Bay. I think they have a coaching advantage over Green Bay as well. I would definitely say the same thing for Seattle. Regardless of the improvement that the Seahawks defense has shown, they spent the vast majority of this year quite literally pacing to be the worst pass defense in NFL history. So I think the Saints have a key advantage there defensively. And again, even though I really respect Pete Carroll as a coach, he is not the guy manufacturing success as is Sean Payton with this New Orleans Saints offense. So that's another key separation point. And maybe that's why they're the favorite to win this NFC 1 seed. But when you look, it's a 3-team race. Saints at 9-2. Seahawks and Packers at 8-3. Let's look at the remaining schedule for each team. Seattle has the Giants at home and the Jets at home. Wow. They called that the New York double team, a guaranteed double win. Congratulations. And I think Daniel Jones is going to miss time for the Giants as well.
Looks like he's out.
So congratulations to Seattle. Oh, wait. Never mind. Let's go ahead and make it a threesome. They follow up Giants at home, Jets at home by going to Washington, D.C. to take on the football team. Those are 3 games that they absolutely should win. So I'm going ahead and I'm counting Seattle at 11-3 right now. They're going to have a bit more of an interesting finish. Rams at home is a really tough game, especially when you consider that could have a ton of division implication on the line. And they'll finish in San Francisco against the Niners, who looked like nothing against the Saints a couple weeks ago because of that defense, but then obviously came up with the big win and beat the Rams this past weekend. So Seattle, I look at a guaranteed 3 wins, 2 questionable games. The Packers are at home versus the Eagles. They go to Detroit to take on the Lions. And then they're at home versus the Panthers, home versus the Titans, and then they go to Chicago. So I think the Packers even looks a bit more favorable than does Seattle, right? The only team that you're worried about in that mix are the Tennessee Titans. And most importantly, that's an AFC team. So, I think it's pretty clear that barring, the NFL, well, I should say this. I'm going to preface this. a lot of what we're talking about today is kind of the context. I want to lay out the context of where everybody is so you understand what you should or should not be cheering for. Ultimately, something that we're talking about today is not going to go according to expectation, but you would expect that the Packers would win the remaining of these games. You would expect that the Packers are going to finish, what would that put that, 10-2 in the NFC. I do not see them losing another NFC game. Maybe they lose that game to the Titans. And then you look at the New Orleans Saints schedules. You're at Atlanta, which is a little sketchy. You're at Eagles. That should be a guaranteed win. You're at home versus the Chiefs, which, like the Titans, it's a very tough matchup, way harder than the Titans, but at least it's an AFC team. And then you're at home versus the Vikings, who unfortunately they've been playing with a bit more juice lately. And then you finish in Carolina, which is a nice game. So all three of these contenders have relatively easy games left with a couple of pitfalls. I do like that the Saints' biggest test is that Kansas City game, though, because let's just go say that you lose to Pat Mahomes and company, although maybe I shouldn't be assuming that, given that you are both legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But let's say that you lose that game. Well, that's fine. That would still put you on pace for a 13-3 finish. And if you win the rest, you would be 11-1 in the NFC. And if the Packers, let's say they win out, let's say they beat everybody left in their schedule, they would finish 13-3 with a 10-2 NFC record. If Seattle was to do the same and win out, they would finish 13-3 with a 10-2 NFC record, and that would be great for the Saints. Because if that's the case, if you have a three-way tie for the 1 seed, unless one of those teams has just beaten the other two head-to-head, the first tiebreaker is conference record. And so that's why the Saints losing to the Raiders as opposed to an NFC team early on may really come back to be huge for them and to pay huge dividends. Now, the disappointing scenario would be if you maybe have the Seahawks fall off, because if you finish in a direct tie with the Packers, they do have that head-to-head over you from earlier this season. So things are heating up. This is exactly where you want to be. I think it's really a testament to this front office, to the top-to-bottom nature of this roster, how impressive it is, how it's built. I mean, think about this. We're having this entire 1-seed conversation. We're talking about expecting the Saints to maybe win out, and they don't even have Drew Brees right now. And it's not clear when he'll be back. Now, I do think he'll be back sooner rather than later. But, like, what a job. Just take a second and absorb that information, because that really reinforces the job that Loomis in the front office has done and Jeff Ireland in building this roster, and the job that Sean Payton is doing on a week-in and week-out basis. Like he said after the game on Sunday, it don't have to be pretty, okay? It's not about aesthetics. It is just about winning. And that's all this team has been about, especially at this portion of the year. I was shocked to read earlier in a Jeff Duncan piece on The Athletic, the Saints are 27-3 in the past 3 years in October and November. 27-3. Now, you might say to yourself, okay, well, I want a little more of that to translate to December and January. And I think it will this year because of that defense. But it's going to start in Atlanta on Sunday. And if you thought that this Falcons game maybe didn't mean anything, or if it was just for pride, you're like, I'm okay with a 1-1 split. That's all well and good. But as we just laid out with the NFC records, a 1-1 split with Atlanta could potentially end up costing you that 1 seed. And trust me when I say there is nothing that Atlanta Falcons fans and players would love more than to directly negatively affect your season in that way, to take away a first-round bye, to take away whatever home field advantage is in the 2020 playoffs. And so Taysom Hill was not very good on Sunday. You just heard Nick Underhill break it down. So I was kind of the opinion yesterday that so much of that was by design pregame. Nick Underhill thinks that maybe it was even after the game started a little bit and they just adjusted more conservatively because Hill just was not seeing the field, was not throwing the ball well. He's going to have to be better against Atlanta this Sunday. As good as the Saints defense has been playing, I still think it's just a bit of it. It's hard to say that they're going to dominate that O-line in the same way that they did last time when you squared up with Atlanta, just because it was pure and utter. It was a bit of a mathematical outlier. So we'll see. But the point here is twofold. First off, you're right where you want to be. You control your own destiny if you just straight up win out. The best thing, you are the 1 seed. You have great advantages in a 3-way tie scenario because of your NFC record. And so this is a very exciting time for Saints fans. And the second part of all of this is to tell you who to watch out for in the Seahawks and the Packers, and then to reinforce just how important Sunday's game is against the Atlanta Falcons. You got to have it. You got to have it if you want to win that NFC 1 seed. All right, when we get back on OTBOT, let's look at the NFL as a whole as we do our NFL roundup, and we will close the book on the NFL week that was.
OTB, OT. Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge. Innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davey talks Tigers, Larry Holder talks Saints, and we'll recap LSU Southeastern in hoops. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, for some reason I thought you got up on the mic, so I thought you had like a tease or something to read. My bad. What's up, y'all? Welcome in OTB OT. About to do our NFL recap. I got to be completely honest here. This was actually the least amount of NFL that I watched on Sunday. Normally, every Sunday, I've been, fully just locked in this year, dedicated. Nobody talked to me. If you hand me a child, I'm just going to hand them an iPad because it is the weekend. Like I am, which, look, I don't give her the iPhone or iPad during the weekend, but chill out, just a weekend thing. But normally fully locked in. I wasn't Sunday because we were filming our Dungeons & Dragons show, The Night Shift, which I do with a few great people. Lindsay Dugas, Trent Hill, Jay Ducote, you may have heard of him. My guy Chucky Delicious. But yeah, look for that soon. That's going to be out soon. So I was in this studio actually playing Dungeons & Dragons the majority of this Sunday. That said, a lot of thoughts on these games, and as we get here into December, into nut-cutting time in the NFL, you're seeing some clear delineation between who's real and who's not. And also, if you hate the Dallas Cowboys, this was a good week of football for you. Not only did the Dallas Cowgirls get their ass kicked, but in the most pitiful division literally in NFL history, the NFC East, they stand alone at the bottom. What are they, 3-8 or 3-7 now? Hold on, I have it pulled up right here.
They are 3-8.
3-8. Gotta love it, dude. Not even on the same level as the 4-7 Giants, the 4-7 football team, 3-7-1 Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys. In a division of bad, they set the bar for being the worst of the worst. Gotta love that if you're a Saints fan. All right, give me some bed music. Let's start working our way through these games like we do each and every week. Closing. This is the only sad part about these kind of segments is they do reinforce the passage of time. We're going to close the book on week 12 of the NFL, boys. Football season is coming to an end. And it started on Thanksgiving. Texans 41, Lions 25. Not a lot to expound on here, except this was the death knell for Matt Patricia, as it should have been. The numbers on him were just so bad, especially compared to when they had fired coaches in the past. So there's Mariucci. I mean, the Caldwell numbers, how much does... I see a lot of interesting parallels, actually, between the Jim Caldwell era in Detroit and kind of the Bo Pelini era in Nebraska is just what jumps to mind, where you were doing pretty good, but you thought you could be so much better, only to realize, oh, wait, maybe that's just not who you are, and you should have been happy with what you had. And so you went from Caldwell 9-7 to Patricia incomplete garbage, and now Matt Patricia is out in Detroit. Good win for the Texans, I guess. They've been kind of getting it going a little bit as of late. Where are they in the AFC South now? 4-7, so like the Texans showing a little fight, surprisingly. Next on the list, Washington football team 41, Cowboys 16. Cowboys getting embarrassed on Thanksgiving. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. On Sunday, Bills 27, Chargers 17. Josh Allen and company, big win. Coming off of the bye week. Remember, going into this bye week, they were 7-3. It looked like maybe the Dolphins were going to time up. The Dolphins blow that game. The Bills come out. They have to win this game. They take care of business. Played very well against Herbert and company. 8-3 now. They remain atop the AFC East, which was needed because Miami Dolphins get a nice win of their own to go ahead
Tua?
and
Tua?
wow.
Yeah, I like that.
To move to 7-4. Yeah. Vikings 28, Panthers 27. Are the Vikings going to make the playoffs?
Is that their fifth win of the season?
You got to remember,
fifth win of the
there
season,
is an extra playoff spot this year. So, 9-7 gets you in guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think from now on, when we are deciding, and I don't know if they're going to do the 8th playoff spot this year. I don't think so. I don't know why they would. Are they confirmed?
Yeah.
They are going to do it? Well, they're doing the 7th. For sure.
No.
The 7th is here to stay.
I think that 8th is just the
I know that there was talk of, with COVID stuff, maybe adding an 8th.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to do that. But 7 is here to stay. And what that means is Normally we think of 10-6 as a cutoff, right? If you're not 10-6, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. That's going to flip. Now, if you're 9-7, you're probably in, save for the odd year where you have a top-heavy league with a lot of 10-6 teams. So with that said,
the Vikings sit at
5-6.
They are in a battle with the Bears and the Niners for that 7th spot.
I mean, so like there you go. The Vikings. I mean, as much as you're paying, and this just sucks for running backs because it doesn't matter, right? But like as much as you're paying Kirk Cousins, it looks like Dalvin Cook's the actual key to that team. Now,
he absolutely is.
It's the same exact situation in Tennessee. You need the quarterback. You need the Cousins or Tannehill really to run everything and make everything work. But it looks like what puts you over the top is actually the running back. But unfortunately, you could find running backs that are going to give you closer production than you can quarterback. So, like, whatever. Tannehill's going to end up getting paid. Cousins ends up getting paid. The running backs will not get paid nearly as much. But the Vikings' huge turning point has been Dalvin Cook coming back, and then Justin Jefferson just continues to dominate. 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 TDs. Rookie of the year.
Offensive rookie of the year. They still lack the pass rush, which I think is ultimately what might be their undoing in the regular season and definitely in the playoffs.
You know the Saints don't want to see Vikings in the playoffs. I don't care how bad they are. There's too much bad juju there.
Yeah, for some reason it's always like a mismatch. Like in the years past, I don't know if it'll be like that like when they play this year. But.
Yeah. So if we were being honest, like in terms of like logically what you should actually fear out of the Vikings, I don't think the Saints have much to fear.
Right.
The Vikings defense is not what it was. The D-line is absolutely not what it was. So Saints should be better suited. I'd rather just completely avoid a Vikings-Saints matchup altogether. Browns 27, Jaguars 25. Again,
that's an ugly win, but it's a win, and that's all that matters.
The Browns' entire football season is an ugly win.
That's true, and they've got 8 of them.
Yeah, but that's exactly. But if you're a Cleveland Brown fans, look at Detroit, okay? Look at Detroit, and just remember to maintain perspective. Be happy with where you are, and I'm sure Browns fans are. I think they know this better than anyone. How long has it been since they made the playoffs? Did they sneak in a couple years ago?
I thought they did.
Maybe they did. Either way,
I think it was like early 2000s.
Yeah, because the Bills had the longest streak. The Bills broke that by getting back into the playoffs. I feel like the Browns maybe haven't made it since the early 2000s. We'll have to check on that.
The Cleveland Browns would be the team in the AFC that when they get in the playoffs, I would have the highest level of confidence to pick them to lose the first round.
Yes.
I don't think I don't think they're actually that good. They've gotten by in a lot of close games this year. And maybe you could argue that serves you well in the playoffs because most games in the playoffs are very, very close.
Emil McClellan, my 104.5 ESPN YouTube fan cave co-host, says Nick Chubb is the best running back in football right now. What, Danny?
Dalvin Cook.
No respect for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, too. There's Kamara,
He
there's
was saying
Cook.
the same thing about, like, Ezekiel Elliott's way ahead of Alvin Kamara. Like, they're not even having a comparable year this year.
No. Zeke and whatever. You can say that's all the stuff around Zeke, but no, Zeke's falling off the pace hard.
Derrick
Christian
Henry is
McCaffrey's
also
been
still
hurt
a
this year.
person as
And
well.
that's what I was going to say. To me, it's Derrick Henry still.
He had 145
Alvin Kamara
yards
is
and 3 scores in the first half on Sunday.
Yeah, and anytime Derrick Henry has first half success,
it's over.
You know you're screwed.
It's over.
Right? Like your only hope is to weather the storm and then or is to try to like contain him in the first half and then when he just beats you down through erosion, like waves on the rocks that like hopefully you can just hold up enough at the end. So if he's doing that in the first half, you're done, son. So yeah, Derrick Henry definitely the best traditional running back in the NFL. Alvin Kamara, out of what I think you want a running back out of nowadays, is the best this year. I mean, there's just I don't think that's much of a question. I guess him and actually maybe Dalvin Cook. Nick Chubb maybe behind Henry in the more traditional running back silo. But good on the Browns, dude. 8-3. The freaking Cleveland Browns are 8-3. Okay, Cleveland fans should be happy no matter how they're winning. Giants, the New York Giants 19, the Cincinnati Bengals 17. So how did Daniel Jones get hurt in this game? Does anybody know? I don't know either. Just read that he's going to be out. I don't know. I don't have a lot for this except that. And then Colt McCoy came in for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all this means that Colt McCoy is the quarterback of a team that is currently leading their division. You could see Colt McCoy as a starting quarterback in the playoffs, which is really funny to think about. I guess good on the Bengals for
no, who cares?
Getting close without
I'm
a
done
quarterback.
With the Bengals for now. The
question is, are the Bengals done with Zach Taylor?
They should be.
Do you think?
I think it should be.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Here is a surprising one. Patriots 20, Cardinals 17. Right, the NFL, man, you're always just 1 week away from getting the rug just like swept from under your feet. The Cardinals had done so well. They had stabilized. Everything was going their way. They were 6-3, and now they sit here at 6-5.
Losses in a row.
Yeah, like, damn. They've been one of these streakier teams in the league this year. Get it together for a portion, lose for a portion, get it together for a portion. But losing to the Patriots this year of all years just feels really bad. But then again, credit Belichick and the Patriots game planning for stopping Kyler Murray from having the success on the ground that he normally does.
That just seems like how the Cardinals will be with Cliff Kingsbury. It's just a streaky type of team. They're so focused so much on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is just okay. And if they show up, you'll win. If not, you're going to be in a shootout, and you run the risk of losing the shootout.
And so, unlike the NFC, the AFC is a little more top-heavy, so the Patriots are definitely outside looking in, but they're maintaining life with these random wins that they're scrapping out. They're now 5-6. I don't think they make it. I don't think they make it. No, I think they're done too, but I'm just saying they're not. If you had lost this game, I think they would have been getting close to being mathematically done.
Yeah.
They are still staying alive. Dolphins, thank you, Danny. You're very kind. Yes, that was not funny in the slightest. Dolphins 20, Jets 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Good on the Dolphins.
Another L for the Jets.
Yeah, are they going to win?
Closer to Trevor Lawrence.
Are they going to win a game?
No, they're not.
No, the Jets. No, they haven't fired Adam Gase.
That's by design.
Yeah, they know their best path to getting Trevor Lawrence is relying on the hyperdrive from Adam Gase to be their guide.
They still play the Browns though, so that's their last hope.
Who's that? The Jets?
Yeah.
I'm actually pulling for the biggest.
I don't think the Jets can be. Dude, I think the Jets are the biggest joke of a team in the entire NFL. Here's the most surprising score from the week. Falcons 43, Raiders 6.
This floored me.
Like, what?
It wasn't out of the realm of possibility that the Falcons could win the game, but 43-6, the Raiders... And I think it's safe to say they played their worst game.
Well, look at the recent form that the Raiders had been in.
Exactly.
They beat the Browns. They beat the Chargers. They dominate the Broncos. They go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, almost beat them for a second time. Yeah. And then the Falcons just come out and absolutely smoke them, man. Again.
They put everything they had into that Chiefs game.
Yeah.
And they had a letdown spot, and it was a big letdown, and it hurts their play. I mean, they were rolling. They looked like a guarantee for the playoffs. I still think they get in, but
they're still in a prime position to get in. They have a winning record. There's 3 wild card spots available.
It's not as prime as it was.
No, actually, they're not in the playoffs today, though.
They're not. They're in the 9th spot right now.
You're right.
It's
Dolphins, Browns, and Colts
right now.
That would make it right now. Ooh, so that hurts even worse.
That's what I'm saying. It hurt.
Fell off the pace.
Yeah.
7-4 is the pace right now. The AFC's trending better than the NFC.
They were 6-3 2 weeks ago and looking with good wins. And it very much seems like they let that second Chiefs game beat them twice.
Like we said, man, the end can come for you fast in the league. If you don't come correct, you're going to get smacked up. The Saints came correct, as the Broncos did not. They didn't have a quarterback. Saints win 31-3.
Really wasn't their choice to not come correct.
Not really a lot to take away there, except good on the Saints. And look, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Right? We talked about that. Just accept what they're giving you. You got lucky here. Accept it and move on. Actually, this might be the most surprising. No, I think Falcons probably is still, but Niners 23, Rams 20 is also shocking. Considering that the Rams were remember, like, everybody's always trying to replace the Saints as the 1 seed from a national conversation standpoint. And you know what I'm talking about, Danny? It's so the hot candidate last week was Los Angeles. They're playing so much better. They're such a complete team. They got this game against a really weakened Niners team. Well, sorry. They couldn't do what the Saints did. They couldn't take care of business against a bad Niners team, and they end up losing at home 23-20. And now the Rams are out of the 1 seed conversation, basically. And they now have fallen behind the Seahawks, who have won 2 in a row in the NFC West. So the Rams got to be kicking themselves on this Tuesday morning. Chiefs 27, Bucks 24. Oh, Tommy.
Hey,
What's
man, they
going
fought back.
on?
Now, look, they fought back because they were down 17-0 in that game early, and Tyreek Hill was just absolutely destroying everybody, catching everything, breaking people's ankles, and they weathered the storm and fought back, and another one-possession game between Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. But in the end...
Didn't Tyreek catch for over 200 yards in the first quarter?
In the first quarter. He had over 200 yards in the first quarter.
Oof. The red flag here for the Bucks is their record above 500 teams. I want to say they're 1-4.
It's not
against
good.
winning record teams, and then they're like 6-1 against the others. So, look, there's something to be said for that. For taking care of the bad. Like, if you're Cleveland, that's fine. You love that. You're beating the bad teams. You're not beating the better. That's okay. It's a process. But the Bucks have Super Bowl aspirations this year. Like, they have to win now, and it does not bode well for the playoffs if you can't beat the best teams in your schedule.
Go ahead.
No, go on.
Finish it.
Well, I was going to say, don't look now, but like with 8 wins in a row, the Saints have the NFC South almost locked up.
See, that's where I was going to go. A common theme through this recap has been teams that just seem to be, on a war path, and like the Cardinals. We mentioned it with the Raiders.
Yep.
Nobody is a bigger example of that than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, because they were 7-2, it feels like yesterday, sitting atop the NFC South, the favorite for the NFC 1 seed, and all of a sudden they are 7-5.
Yep.
And people are wondering about their playoff.
It makes the Saints' consistency all the more impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 wins in a row, no Mike Thomas for a lot of that, no Drew Brees for the last couple weeks, no Teron Armstead. 2 weeks ago, you had no Lattimore.
Against the Lions, you had, 6 starters out?
Yeah, including like the COVID stuff where you were up till 3 a.m. the night before. This Saints team truly is on the do-your-job Super Bowl or bust mission.
But how much did everybody talk about that in the preseason? That a veteran team like the Saints does that help them navigate this quirky, weird, unique season?
Yeah.
And it certainly looks like it has.
Bears fans were sad Sunday night as the Green Bay Packers dominate the Chicago Bears 41-25. The Bears are the inverse of New Orleans Saints, as they were 5-1 at one time. 5-1? What the Chicago Bears were this year? They're now 5-6. They've lost 5 in a row, and the Packers win 41-25. I got to be honest. I'm worried about the Packers. I think they have an easy path, and I hate that they have that tie break over you in the head-to-head. I wish you could have caught them when you were more full strength. Who knows? We're always kind of worried about like having to face the Bucs again or something. I'm sure Packers fans feel the same way about New Orleans.
I think
you caught New Orleans at a weak time. You don't want to catch them again.
I think they dropped one either to the Titans or Panthers.
Whoa. That's a lot of credit to the Panthers.
I'll call my shot and say the Packers went out and finished 13-3.
Yeah, I'm thinking 13-3 looks like the play here as well. But I don't know. Look, to Danny's point, let me look at the Packers' schedule real quick, because they've had interesting slip-ups this year. The Jaguars had the ball with a chance to win the game we drive. They lose to the Vikings 28-22 a few weeks back. The Buccaneers just straight up whooped their ass earlier on in the season. So, like, they haven't been infallible still, actually. When you look at their schedule, they've won multiple double-digit games.
The Saints can beat Green Bay. They almost beat them in week 3.
They should have beat them.
They really on it. You could argue.
Yeah, the bad turnover, the Taysom Hill fumble that changed that game. Also, that was when the defense was bad.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers with his silent count and everything in an empty dome.
Triggered me, dude.
The problem is, I would rather the Saints not have to go play in Lambeau in January.
Very good point. Very good point. I don't care about home crowds, but you do not want to have to go play in that weather. We just talked about how we live in Louisiana. When it gets under 50, we lose our minds. The players play here. It's the same exact thing.
And they play indoors
here.
Yeah,
they play exactly. So, hey, first home field advantage, even though it doesn't matter as much as it normally does, it still does matter. It's a great point, Moose. And finally, Seahawks 23, Eagles 17 last night. Not much to talk about here.
Carson Wentz is terrible.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is really bad. The Saints are going to rack up sacks on him, I think, in a couple of weeks. And the real story, though, is probably the Seahawks once again emerging as a potential NFC threat and how that might actually be good for New Orleans. Remember, 3-way tie at 13-3 is not bad for the Saints, given that their only loss comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. And then finally tomorrow at 2:40 p.m. we'll get Ravens-Steelers.
Maybe.
So, yeah, I guess, yeah, right, unless they decide they're not playing it once again.
And the NFL didn't even want to push back the Broncos game at all.
I know.
Looking at this game,
I kind of feel for the Broncos a little bit, dude. They're just like, nah, screw you. So whatever. As, you know, we've been critical of the NFL. I guess they kind of hooked the Saints up a little bit there. But yeah, the 10-0 Steelers. So does that mean Lamar Jackson's going to play? Is that why they kept pushing this game back?
He's still out.
Okay, so we're probably looking at
J.K. Dobbins are back if they play tomorrow, but Lamar
so
Jackson.
You're probably looking at a 6-5 Ravens team.
Yeah.
That is on the outside looking in of the playoffs. Right where the Raiders are in tough competition with them, trying to catch the Dolphins, trying to catch the the Browns and the Colts. Huh. Fascinating times in the NFL. I love when the playoff race starts to heat up. All right, when we get back, get some of those mailbag questions from earlier, as well as I think there's some chat going on about who to start at quarterback on Saturday. We'll break that down. Stick around here on OTBOT.
OTB, OT.
Go to Hooters this weekend for all of December because it's Christmas and it's still football season. And Hooters is your headquarters for football. And although I was not told to say this, I'm saying it's your headquarters for Christmas as well. Okay? Why? Because it's got everything you love when you think about Christmas. The beer, the wings, the sports, the televisions, the Hooters girls, the warm vibes. It's as Christmas as it comes. So get into Hooters today. And go ahead and enjoy. Look, the new Segan Lane location got renovated last year. New countertops, new floors, new TVs. It's spectacular if you haven't checked it out. But look, during the pandemic, sometimes seating can be limited. Maybe you're trying to quarantine. You're staying at home. Maybe you're having people over for the game. You're entertaining. Whatever it is, you can bring Hooters to you. Download the phone app. You get a free appetizer. Or you go to HootersToGo.com. You order that food. You don't cook. You don't clean. You just eat them delicious wings. Go to Hooters.com today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, we'll be joined by LSU Sports Radio Network's Hunt Palmer, SEC Network's Chris Doering, and New Orleans Saints rookie tight end Adam Trautman. Hanging with Hester and Hanny, weekdays from noon to 3 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's happening? Welcome back, man. OTB, OT, TBOB, in the houses, Danny
and Musa. Welcome back. OTBOT. If you want to follow us on YouTube or subscribe to the Off the Bench Overtime channel, it's where all of our Saints content goes, whereas the Off the Bench YouTube channels where all the LSU stuff goes. So if you want to help us out, like and subscribe to both of those. All right, before we get to these mailbag questions, we got some takes going down in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Catherine Mead has many takes, but I'll try to kind of paraphrase them. Here's where she starts. Obviously, Max Johnson has played a lot less than TJ. A&M wanted to stop the actually, I should have read this before I read it. Okay, the bottom line is that she is calling for Max Johnson to start over TJ Finley. She thinks that Johnson's been more accurate than Finley, which I don't think that I agree with. And basically says that his running ability gives him a better ability to improvise against the pass rush, that you need a spark against Alabama. And Catherine, thank you for being involved in the show. And I like anybody who has takes. Unfortunately, I don't think that our takes see eye to eye here. I'm just going to stick with what I've been consistently saying on film, and that is that I see no demonstrable difference between TJ Finley and Max Johnson. I just don't right now. And I'm not saying that their styles of play aren't different, because they are. I mean, like O said, they bring in Max Johnson that last game to try to work in some quarterback runs, maybe get a little success there. But in terms of ultimately production and what your offense will produce, I see no reason why Max Johnson is any better than TJ Finley. And Catherine Mead saying in the bigger games, TJ just hasn't produced. Well, I mean, that's not true, right? Every game this year, there's not been like a bigger game. Now, you could say against the better teams, but is that TJ Finley's fault? Or is that you're just not a very good football team? And so, of course, when you play better teams, you look worse. Because he was fantastic in South Carolina. I thought that Finley was even better against Arkansas. And then he was really bad against Auburn. He was really bad against A&M. What are the correlating factors there? The offensive line was really bad in both of those games. And again, what was the correlating factor with the two wins that Finley had? The offensive line was very good against South Carolina and good enough against Arkansas. So what that also means, though, is I'm not going to sit here and tell you that TJ Finley absolutely needs to start. I think that there is no difference. I think the only person that offers a clear advantage at quarterback would have been a fully healthy Miles Brennan. I think you probably play both guys in Finley and Johnson again this weekend, and I have no problem with that because I like both of these guys getting experience against very good teams in a very big setting. And I want to see how these guys respond when everything's working against you. Like when you know it's not going to go well for you. You're out there and you're just trying to have to fight this huge uphill battle. What kind of toughness do you display? Can you pull some plays out of thin air, right? Like, can you find a way to manufacture some sort of success, something that LSU couldn't really do last weekend? We'll have to wait and see.
How do you divide their reps up in this game, though? They're going to play both of them, and that's fine. But how do you divide it up? Do you do what you did against A&M, TJ gets the first 2 drives, Max is going to get the next 2, and then you'll go from there? Because I don't know if that's always the best way, because while the offense wasn't humming on TJ's first 2 drives, he also didn't do anything.
It did seem like they
back.
could. It did seem like they could move the ball maybe Saturday for a little bit. I mean, he started 5-8 for 32. It's just that A&M was tackling well, forcing him to play underneath, and the pressure ruined everything.
Yeah,
quarterbacks can't succeed when they have that amount of pressure.
You're going to get a lot of pressure again this week, though.
I'm with you. And they said that they entered last game with that rotation. They wanted to give Finley a couple series and put Johnson in no matter what. And I think their actions actually kind of do support that. And
I'd say they do.
I'm with you, Musso. Traditionally, I don't like that setup.
I don't either.
I like a quarterback being able to find a rhythm. But again, don't think it matters this Saturday.
It doesn't.
And so, like, kind of interestingly. Now, if Finley comes out and scores opening drive, I don't think you rotate then. Like, if you're having enough success where you're maybe scoring or you have a couple good drives or you flip the field, you take advantage of field position, I don't know that I would pull a quarterback switch in. And who knows if Finley starts? Like, whoever the starter is, if you have early success, I'm okay with giving that guy more rope.
Go with the hot hand.
Yeah, but if it's not working, I have no problem with switching. And I have no problem if you want to do a pre-planned switch, just because, again, none of it's probably going to matter this weekend. And I do want both of these guys to be put in these situations. And I mean, whether the coaches want to admit it or not, they're definitely coaching for the moment, but you also are big time with this LSU team evaluating the future. And this is a fascinating testing ground that you cannot replicate in practice, which is against an elite team, an elite defense, which you may say Alabama's not an elite defense, but they are trending that direction actually once again. And a game that you know you're probably going to get your ass kicked. How do you play when all that adversity is stacked against you? So I'm cool with seeing both guys. As far as we got some comments like from Joseph Claim on others saying neither's a world beater, but I think it's trying to try something different. Talking about Finley versus Johnson. Look, that comes down to practice, man. If Max Johnson wants to start, he has to win the practice battles that TJ Finley has been winning. And the coaches have shown that door is clearly open. You just have to walk through it. So we'll know more by Saturday. All right. When we get back here on OTBOT, let's close out the show, and we'll do some of those mailbag questions next.
OTB, OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Our local nonprofits help build a thriving community for all, and now it's time for us to give back. So join us for 225 Gives on Giving Tuesday, December 1st, to build community and unite action. Learn more at 225gives.org.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off of MSRP.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davey talks Tigers. Larry Holder talks Saints. And we'll recap LSU Southeastern in hoops. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So Catherine and Claymont still hating the Max Johnson, or saying that they think that Max Johnson should be a starter, saying that, look, we've seen him in limited views compared to TJ Finley, and that in those limited views he has the most poise. I completely disagree with that. Poise and confidence is the single most impressive part about Finley. And honestly, actually, to Johnson as well. I mean, that's what I've really loved about these freshman cats is neither one of them seems overwhelmed by the moment. The problem that I'm seeing, I just keep seeing this sort of like start him and just see what he can do. That's up to Johnson, right? I mean, he can earn that job in practice. The starting job is open. It's just about who executes better at practice. So, like, if Johnson really wants to get the same chance that TJ Finley has had, where he gets to start the game, remain in for an extended time, he has to win it in practice, and then he has to do well once the game starts. OTB Mailbag, what's fastest 40 I ever ran? I ran a 4.9 in high school, but I was 255 pounds. Yeah. When I got fat, like 5'2" something was the best I ever did, unfortunately. I never broke my collarbone, though. Or tore my hammy. Shout out to the Prince, Panamsky. All right, look, thank y'all so much for everything, everybody in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, Danny Musso, great production work, as y'all do every day, top of the line. And, we'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, previewing some NFL football, including a Wednesday night football game, right on, and talking more LSU, Alabama. This is OTBOT. Look.
OTB, OT.
Hello?
What's up, B? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking